One. Hey guys, my name is Brijesh. Welcome to Lucky Lotus.
I'm Jimmy. We're joined by a special guest today.
I'm John.
Thanks for tuning in. We're going to have a big, beautiful podcast episode. We're going to talk about the big, beautiful bill. We're going to get into the Epstein files. Brijesh has the client list.
I do.
We're going to read it word for word, name for name.
Yeah, it's...
We're only missing 1 minute of footage that is not important.
Listen, here's the thing with the Epstein file. You will not be surprised who's on the list.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's not like... But let's get into...
We're going to go through my Roman Empire. We got some ad reads. We're going to do 6 big beers, and we're going to wrap it up with some childhood trauma.
Okay.
Well, let's get into it. Big, beautiful bill.
Sounds good. So
The BBW bill.
So what is... Okay, so for our non-politically aligned listeners, what is the big, beautiful bill?
yeah, so it's Trump's new spending plan essentially, and he signed it on the 4th. It was super controversial. We can get into some like the backstory on it.
100%.
So
We got all the time.
Yeah.
yeah, so I kind of want to start this because I think this is a bigger deal than people are talking about it. Like you aren't. I'm not hearing many people talk about it. I think it's massive for like markets in general. I think. Wait, let me do an intro myself. So my name is John. I like 4 or 5 years ago had a podcast with Jimmy called Money Shots, where we just kind of talked about. We had both just graduated. We were trying to figure out money, as like
Naughty billionaires.
naughty billionaires, young Bezos, and so the majority of that was us just like documenting early financial journey. And the main thing that I was on at that time was crypto, and like Bitcoin was, between like 3,000 and 10,000 at that time.
The good old
now
days.
in the good old days. Now we're sitting at like 120K.
Yeah.
And I think this is another moment where it's like a massive inflection point, and I don't really think people are talking about it.
Yeah.
And the inflection point was the big, beautiful bill.
Okay. Because I guess a little background. So I knew him. I've known you since high school.
Yeah.
I've known you since high school too. But really, like recently, we've started like hanging out a lot more. And so they're not doing a podcast anymore. Me and Jimmy are doing a podcast now.
Yeah.
I've been replaced. He found the new brown guy.
Stuff's going on. Wow. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Go on. Burjesh is already blushing as an Indian man. Yeah. My only goal is to now make John blush by this podcast.
Yeah, we'll
H1B1.
see how that goes.
But you were always ahead of the curve when it came to crypto. I remember you started talking about it. Let's deviate just a little bit and then get back into big, beautiful bill.
Hey, you tell me, big boy.
Yeah, I feel like this all lines up with it because it's what the
back
point.
We know each other. We've established that. What else are we talking about?
So back in 2017 is like when you really got into it, when everyone's kind of calling you a fool, that you're not like you don't know what you're doing. So you persistently went after it, even after like I don't know how much you want to get into it, but you said you got a big loss, but that didn't deter you at all. You still doubled down onto crypto, and now you've reached a point where it's. I don't want to like put your business out there.
Yeah,
well, I want to be clear. That was a time where it was in between cycles, and that was a dump where stuff had gone up for Ethereum, then down for Ethereum, and we had not reached the up that we saw. We hadn't reached pre-COVID at that time.
Yeah.
Then we had pre-COVID. Then we had COVID. Then we had the opportunity of a lifetime to buy again with Bitcoin below $10,000, and it may never get back below 60,000, 70,000, however much you think.
Yeah, I don't think it will.
But whatever it is, it's Bitcoin's established itself. Like outside, like crypto is, most of them right now are a scam. But the big five, they're solid financial vehicles that can it's a good. It's
What's the big
great.
five? I don't know what the big five are.
I mean, it just depends. You'd put to like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Ripple.
Would you say
Maybe like Doge.
Dude, XRP to the
Matic?
moon?
Yeah, I wouldn't say Matic, but I don't really want to get into specific coins.
Before we get into it, everything we say on here is not financial advice.
Not
Yeah.
financial
Disclaimer.
advice. Not financial advice.
I don't know these people. I don't know how I got here.
As
These
you're-
are not my words.
We
As we
brought
were
them.
talking about, the big beautiful bill was the denouement of the story. It has started the rising action that I think we will look back on for a long time, as this was very important.
Yeah, 100%. So when Trump was campaigning, his voter base was mainly what you'd call like the disenfranchised.
Yeah.
So one of the big slogans of his campaign was Wall Street has done really well for the last, couple of decades. Now it's Main Street's turn. And the idea was essentially don't be concerned with the stock market and be more focused on bringing jobs back to America, reduce immigration so Americans get higher paying jobs. And you're kind of, and really the big beautiful bill was the moment where you're like, okay, basically everything that he was campaigning on, we're now doing the reverse, which is essentially what every single other president has done. And so my original thesis was that governments don't function without significant money printing.
Yeah.
So the amount that we're bringing in is significantly less than like the interest bill every single year. And so that you have to fund that deficit with essentially printed money.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because Elon was super on board, and that was Doge's whole plan. Yeah. So Doge was, we'll cut $1 trillion of spending, and then Lutnick was supposed to bring in $1 trillion of investment. And when you look at the big beautiful bill, it's supposed to increase the deficit by $2 trillion a year.
Yeah.
So if they had cut by the trillion and brought an additional trillion, it would have offset the big beautiful bill.
Yeah.
Doge clearly didn't work.
Yeah.
We're probably going to get like the trillion investment. You saw the Saudi Arabia stuff. But so, like long story short, this increase in spending that's now proposed is essentially, in my opinion, Trump capitulating and essentially saying, instead of us being able to cut spending, because everyone freaked out about stock market dropping, tariffs, he's essentially saying, hey, we're going to spend as much money as necessary in order to grow out of the debt hole that we're in.
Well, so what's our current debt, or what are we at right now? Nationwide is debt.
So not $1 trillion.
Just shy of $40 trillion, somewhere between 38 and 39. I like the guy who's in the Senate. He's got a badge that keeps the live debt on.
Thomas Massey, shout out.
They're $100. I'm going to get one.
Well,
I like it.
No, 100%. It's so we were talking about the what is it? The debt that we're in right now. That we're reaching a point where what did you say about?
Well, John and I had this conversation earlier in the week too, where it's, are you truly going to save your way out of it? It's kind of like if you're in America and you think you're going to save your way into retirement, it's not going to happen. You have to invest it in something that's going to make you money, and that's
like
the same theory behind the big beautiful bill. You're not going to austerity measures your way out, and no one's going to vote for that either.
100%.
Like no one's going to vote for a worse life. So it's a big pivot from him saying, "I'm going to take care of you," and it's a pivot too from him for the people that got him elected, from him going grassroots, I'm going to take care of you. And now he's pivoted back to the uniparty system where it's like, you're messing up the money. Come on.
Yeah,
Start the money printers. Make them go.
Exactly.
Well, it's like, I guess, as much as you want to clown on him, you at some point you have to face reality. And at some point, if you wanted to completely like go to grassroots route, then you would have to like overhaul the financial system completely, which who knows how. Now, that would be much more, the remedy is much worse than the sickness.
Yeah, I mean,
if you go down that route, right?
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like Elon's argument for it. So there's this historical measurement that any country that goes to 140% debt to GDP ratio, the country fails.
Yeah.
And we're at like 120% right now.
Yeah.
So if you listen to any...
Let's go.
Yeah, we're so close. Almost there, baby. But if you listen to any
all gas
interviews of like Elon, Besant, and Lutnick, that's how they start every single conversation, trying to define the point and why it was so important.
Yeah.
And then that's also why you saw Elon crash out for the last couple of weeks, because the second the big beautiful bill got proposed, he was like, this is the exact opposite of what I wanted to happen.
Yeah.
And we're moving further and further to that direction of, the greatest country in the world being ruined.
Well, okay, so we see the edge of the cliff. We're not taking the gas, or we're not taking the foot off the pedal. Yeah. It's just let's just theorize real quickly. Say, because we're gonna hit that 140% in a bit.
I mean, you don't know, because like the original goal was you cut spending, you don't worry about the stock market going down. But the thing is, everybody has a 401k.
Yeah.
Everyone's entire lives and livelihoods are tied to how the S&P 500 does, how the NASDAQ does.
Yep.
So it seemed like it was only the richest people that would be hit, but really it's the vast majority of the country. Like everyone's retirement accounts, everyone's pensions are all tied into this. And there's only a certain amount of pain. Like you don't want a president that is taking your money away. You don't play with people's money, right?
No, you don't.
And so he reversed on it, and so this brings me back to the whole crypto point. Like one, I really, really like Trump because he's been so pro crypto.
Yeah.
Like he's a big holder. Like the man dropped a meme coin. His kids all run crypto related companies.
Yep.
And then 2, like the general idea behind Bitcoin originally was the amount of money printing is never going to stop.
Yep.
You need some type of asset to hold all of your dollars in. And prior to this, you had things like NASDAQ, S&P, whatever stocks you wanted, real estate.
Yeah.
But
the barrier to entry is a lot easier with Bitcoin than it is getting a property.
Exactly.
It's a lot easier to open up a Coinbase or get. How long did it take me to learn everything about it? It was a very small entry. It's just once you get in, it's just. I mean, you have. This is what really kind of grinds my gears a little bit. I know we're getting a little off topic. Like BlackRock has an ETF, a Bitcoin ETF.
Exactly.
That really grinds my gear because the whole point of Bitcoin in the first place was that you are in, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, but everybody had a chance. That's the thing. It's been.
I mean, still now, financial advice, but still, still go ahead and invest in it because it's just have your.
I'm not gonna say invest in it or not.
Neither am I. Never mind. Take it back.
Yeah.
You do run the risk. That's like a real thing. Like if you invest in that ETF and you have a situation like we were talking about earlier, Roaring Kitty, if there are shorts that are put against that and they got to call those shorts, they either have to buy that Bitcoin, which at one time they probably could not buy that much Bitcoin if they have to cover something like that. And then what happens is you're holding an ETF in your hand and you don't have full custody of your coins.
Yeah. I mean, same thing
what you're trying to say.
Yeah, so it's just thank you. Actually, that is
that's what you're trying to say.
That.
I saw it a mile away.
God, look at that.
You went to Harvard. I went to Wharton. I saw you coming a mile away.
There you go. But okay. So back to the big beautiful bill. We've already established that we're not gonna like save our way out of this. We have to like reshape our plan, and we have to start spending a lot more. So it's just. Do you think we're ever going to get below 120? What you said, 120%?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think that's not really even the point. I think it's more so just the direction has shifted significantly. Yeah. And what we saw the first, let's say, 5 months of Trump's presidency, everything was going down. Everyone's super bearish. Everyone's talking about recessions and things like that. And I think that this is the moment where it makes the most sense to be 100% allocated just because this is a full reversal. And I've not yet seen or heard anybody call this really a full reversal on like his policy.
But usually, like even if in a recession or if it's a reversal, you always hear about it after the fact. Not always after.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like here 1 week after it was signed trying to say, I think that the tides have turned and now it's time to put the foot on the gas.
Right. So, like, from a pivot perspective, this would have been a bad year to buy real estate. Yeah. Now it may be a great year to buy real estate for the last 6 months of the year, especially if they cut rates twice.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have your mortgage and you don't have everything lined up, and then you get one after they cut rates, you'll be competing against more buyers for easy Keynesian economics. You're going to be paying a higher price.
Yeah.
Or over sticker price for the house.
Yeah. Like, everyone's trying to get out of the real estate now because, like, post-COVID, when we started printing a shit ton of money, everyone was buying homes. Everyone's like locked in these homes, and now like a ton of variable interest rates. And now tons of people can't afford. Like you're seeing all the hot spots that people move to, like Austin, Nashville, New York, California. You're seeing the amount of listings increasing exponentially at this point. Like some of them are
Tampa, right? Like Tampa,
yeah, Miami, and you're seeing a lot of those values come down.
Las Vegas,
and so Scottsdale. So you're seeing
Arizona. We always talk about Arizona,
dude. I want to take a trip out to Arizona so bad, pretty soon.
Let's go, dude.
But so you're seeing the current owners are, what's the word for it? Desired sellers. What's the
motivated sellers?
Yeah, they
have to be motivated, which just means you got to have like a 25% price reduction or a 10% price reduction off the top, or no one's going to touch it. Plus they're going to demand you fix all this stuff and go into it. They're going to have a bunch of contingencies. It better be completely clear. That garage better be cleaned out.
Yeah. So like, I mean, COVID, everyone was like, hey, I'll pay 20% over asking, no contingencies, just give me the house, any house, I just want it. But and now it's the exact opposite.
You don't even have that much liquid cash. Like general populace doesn't have the liquid.
100%.
Yeah. So it's just, you have ridiculous prices. You don't have a motivated buying group. So it's just like what market demands are. Like, you have to reduce prices to match.
It's got nothing to do about motivation. People can't afford a house. The average home buyer is 56. It used to be the people that have been the average home buyer have aged from the year they were in 1980 to the year they are now, and they're 56 years old.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It used to be 33, then it jumped up, and then the other thing is too, you have this ginormous percentage of your population that's over the age of 65 that will die, and we do not have enough new people that are being born to be in all those homes. So you're talking about a big surplus like they have in Japan in like 10 to 20 years.
Yeah. So, I guess we are facing that. So some of the other parts.
I guess that is a problem.
Oh man, that's crazy. So back to what I was saying. So what's in this bill, Brijesh?
Okay, so I got a couple of key points that, of course, defense budget is going to be increased. Border and immigration, they're getting a ridiculous amount of new support coming in. What is it? I heard somewhere that they're trying to put in more. 10,000 more ICE agents, but you also have a signing bonus now of $10,000 to motivate you to come join ICE. But some of the biggest selling points of this bill were they're not taxing your tips or overtime anymore. So that's for the middle class or lower to middle class. But then one thing that gets me, I guess the only downside about this bill that I don't like is that you're cutting Medicaid and the SNAP program.
School lunches, too, are in there. And I love how you just passed over using the ultimate term, Golden Dome.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I was saving it for you.
A thing that I saw online, and we can get back to it, is somebody arguing that the last Ottoman emperor is Donald Trump because he loves everything gold. He's had multiple wives, and then 5 or 6 other arguments.
The little gold citizenship card.
Then it's the Golden Dome, the gold citizenship.
Yeah.
He needs to
the
redo
golden hair.
Yeah, exactly.
I think another really cool part of the bill is everyone that's born past that point gets $1,000 in S&P. Which I think further reinforces the idea. So we know Social Security isn't going to last forever.
No, it's not, yeah.
Pensions are weaker. It's kind of it seems like he is doubling down. So Trump, everyone talks about Trump 1.0 and Trump 2.0. Trump 1.0 was juice everything. Trump 2.0 was cut everything originally. Now it sounds like he's getting back to the juice everything mindset, which is kind of where I'm going here in that. This is him giving $1,000 in S&P to every single child that's born.
What is that called? A Trump savings account, right?
Yeah, something like that. But the general idea that his way of dealing with that issue of Social Security running out is just by giving you stocks.
Yeah,
is a direct. So I have this buddy Justin. And we're driving around his truck, we're just talking. And one of the most profound things he said to me was, I think he guys run a business for the last decade. And he was I think that what people don't realize is the government tells you exactly what they want you to do.
Yeah.
And they incentivize you to do what they want you to do. Half the time people just aren't listening or aren't paying attention.
Like solar panels. Everyone who sells solar panels, it's gangbusters previously to this bill, or hey, we're going to give an electric car credit, make electric cars. Stuff like that.
Exactly.
Or hey, we're going to, for new windows or roofs, we're going to do this. And those people come to your dorms hey, we're doing new windows to the government program. The government's going to pay for half of it.
So are they taking away these environmental credits? You're no longer be credited for solar panels or having an electric car, which makes sense. Prior to this. But it's just, he put more emphasis on even when you have to make payments on a car, that if it's American made, that you get a discount. So I can see what he's trying to do, increase industry inside the United States.
Yeah, exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you're right. We're gonna have to spend our way out of this.
Yeah, and I mean the American consumer has been kind of screwed over for the last decade essentially. Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, because it's our economic spending power is it's greatly diminished, but now we have tools that we can access to actually either Bitcoin, going back to that, it can just hold our the value of the money in that time period.
Well, I think the really interesting thing about the economic spending power is you see credit card debt is at all-time highs and things like that. The American consumer didn't really stop spending.
No, it did not.
Tariffs and all that happened, blah blah blah. No one people kind of cared, but not really. Everyone was I'm not going to allow this to change the way I'm living my life, and just kept moving along. And it's the American consumer, the American economy is actually way more resilient than anyone expected. Everyone's just I'm still taking my trip to Italy. It's just going to cost me 2 years of my life in credit card bills.
Yeah, it's kind of not sobering. It's kind of nice to kind of see that you're not going to let the economic woes kind of just you're going to live your life the way you want to live it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's nice,
but not nice. But it's still it's just back to what the consumer you're not. This is not going to dictate. I mean, even though it does, dude. Dictate everything, but
I call that the golden cheeseburger paradox, where if burgers were $100, people are like, I'm not going to buy a burger. But then if all burgers were $100, people would still buy hamburgers.
100%.
People would still buy cheeseburgers. 100%. Same reason that people are like, everyone wants to complain about McDonald's being so high. How do you know it's high? You're still going.
Yeah.
You're still doing the same stuff you did before it was $25 for a meal.
Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, my Starbucks now costs $2 more. Yeah. And I'm still going every single morning.
And how many people are like, I am not going to McDonald's ever again. I haven't been in 2 years. Very few people.
Yeah.
Dude, it's... Okay, so this bill, I don't know what I was going to say.
Well, I think like a big part of it was he ran on that it was going to be no fat in the bill, no pork, all this stuff. And Elon was like, all right, let's do it. And they were like, no, not right now. We weren't serious about that. You think we were serious about it? And then now Elon's trying to make he's trying to divide the Republican Party, and he's trying to sway people that are more centrist on the Democratic side to a new third party. But then it's like both the parties are kind of split in two. There's like 4 parties right now. Yeah. There's the far left, the far right, and then the unicenter, like, let's go with the flow Democrats, and the same thing for the Republican side.
Yeah.
Don't rock the boat. We all hate each other. Let's pass this bill.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing with Elon, I agree with him partially, but he was supposed to cut $1 trillion in spending with Doge. Like, that was his commitment to this effort, and he failed miserably because he realized the vast majority of the spending is defense spending, Medicare spending, and Medicaid and Social Security. Yep. And those are 3 things that you can't cut. And so it makes perfect sense, the reason that we're spending money the way that we're spending money. And if you can't cut, then actually the only way for you to get out of it is by spending more. And if you can only spend more, then it means assets go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a take on the Elon thing, which is it is incredibly hard. They have designed the system so that it is harder for you to cut said spending. Mm-hmm. So he just didn't understand how unwillfully prepared he needed to be for it and how many obstacles he was going to encounter. Like, if he wanted to lay off the amount of people he wanted to lay off in the federal government, he cannot, because he physically cannot get the files out of a cave where they have them and they have to sign them, because the elevator capacity is 8,000 pounds and he would need to bring like 18,000 pounds of paperwork out of this mine.
I mean, I think that Elon's best quality and his worst quality is that he's an idealist. And so he went into this very idealistically, and then he got swallowed by the swamp, and now he's pissed off about it.
Because there's a lot of friction in the swamp, that it's just the old ways are set in stone, and you're not going to just get a chainsaw and cut it down, or like cut the fat off that you want.
Yeah.
That you need, like, let's be honest, if he started to cut the Pentagon spending, he'd die.
I mean, there's just,
no way you're cutting
it's not even him dying. It's more so the fact that, like, the government is the biggest employer in the country, and in order to cut the amount of spending you want to cut, like, you're going to put 50% of the country on unemployment, basically.
Yeah.
And that's not a good solution either.
So with this third party that he wants to come up with, do you think it's going to be successful?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because there's been multiple people that wanted to have a third party, and like multiple billionaires. And it's just like you're socially liberal, but financially you're conservative.
Yeah.
And it's like you've heard the story multiple times, and it's just, I don't know. I think Elon is starting to become a detriment to himself at this point.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I just think he's an idealist.
Yeah.
And we're in a non-idealistic world. It works within his companies because he fully controls companies up, down. But then I think the reason that his party isn't going to work is because I don't think people care. Yeah. Like, people do not care enough. It goes back to the whole credit card and, like, the consumer's resilient. It doesn't matter how detrimental it is to you as a person. You want to continue living your life the way that you're living it, and nothing's going to stop you from doing that. You honestly don't really want to be thinking about politics that much, which is why, like, with this bill, my thinking coming here talking to y'all wasn't so much to, like, really debate the bill. It was more so that, hey, Trump was the one president that was willing to go through the pain of cutting the spending and potentially not being the liked guy.
Yeah.
And then now, 5 months later, he's failed. Yeah. And now he's going down the exact same route that every other president goes down, which is essentially just increased spending. And if that is true, then it means that if he was the one option to go against the status quo and it didn't work, then that means essentially for the rest of the country's, lifetime, we're going to keep going down this route. And if that's correct, then you can expect S&P to continue going up, expect NASDAQ to continue going up, expect real estate to continue going up, and expect crypto to keep going up.
So all in all, like people who have already invested in these different areas, it's a net positive for them. Because it's like, you're right. I mean, basic economics. The more you print, the less value the dollar has.
Exactly.
And so, like,
and everything's valued in
you
dollars.
You logically can't stop. You can't see the government stopping the printing press.
Yeah.
Now it's like if you follow the logic, what you said before, that government tells you what to do, they've ramped up the printing. That means the values of the actual like dollar is going down, which means it's time to divest and start investing in like actual like hard assets.
Yeah, and like you see a lot of normal people don't have investments, you know, and that was the other point of this is this is the game, right? And Trump was the potential departure from the typical game.
Yeah.
And hey, we're back to the status quo of the game. So all you can do is play the rules in front of you.
Exactly.
And the rules are saying just buy assets.
Yeah. It's like, again, what you said, why Elon's not doing well right now, an idealist, which is great to be when you're starting a startup or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
you're trying to send rockets up into
yeah, that's awesome, which is amazing that he revitalized the whole space program single-handedly. Like we are going to become a multiplanetary like species.
Yeah,
because
I truly believe it.
But it's like, okay, that's that one thing. I guess that bias happens in everybody. Oh, this worked here. Let me adapt that thinking over here.
100%.
And it's just like, no, you don't see the pitfalls of your own like your thought patterns.
Yeah, he's like, I've built multiple $100 billion companies. Yeah. Why wouldn't I be able to do the same thing with the country?
What this country's one like funding everything. You're doing.
Right.
You're biting the hand.
Yeah.
Well, I think the big thing is like he's gonna cut rates. He said it. He's making fun of the guy who's not cutting rates. He's holding off renovating the office that the guy works in that's not going to cut rates. He's either going to make that guy cut rates and embarrass him on the way out, or he's going to fire him and put his own boy in there, and then that's going to happen. That's going to be the next tipping point that started from this thing.
Yeah, it's so Powell's term.
J
Powell. Yeah, shout out.
Good afternoon.
Love to have you on the pod.
Young goat. He's such a failure, but.
Like Kramer, right?
Dude, he's just everything that he's done has been a huge
shit show.
I don't know. He was all like, inflation's transitory during COVID. Inflation was not transitory. He then ramped up rates at the fastest rate we've ever seen. And then you saw we had that regional bank crisis. And then Yellen came in and started printing gave them all a bunch of loans to save them. SVB shut down. You had a bunch of other banks potentially like on the verge of shutting down.
all these banks are leveraged off of each other. So if like it's a domino effect, right? Like,
it was also the whole SVB crisis was during COVID. Trump was like, "Hey, we're going to cut rates to zero. You guys should put as much money as you want into Treasury bills. Treasury bills are just the government's way of funding itself, and." So they bought a bunch of Treasury bills at, let's say, 0 to 2%.
Yeah.
And then J. Powell comes in. And so let's say you buy real easy numbers. Let's say you buy $100 of Treasury bills at a 0% rate. And then J. Powell goes and raises rates to 5 or 6%.
Yeah.
Now you still own $100 of Treasury bills. But that $100 of Treasury bills now can't be sold at the same value that you purchased it for because someone else can now buy. So you bought them at 0%.
Yeah.
Now someone else can come and buy $100 of Treasury bills at the new 5 or 6%.
Yeah.
So you had a bunch of people. Essentially, bonds get traded at market value as well. Okay. So. Let's say SVB, their specific scenario was they had like $20 billion that was tried to be redeemed from them.
Yeah.
And they have that value in Treasury bills. But because rates were higher, let's say their current value of those Treasury bills was, let's say, $8 billion.
Yeah.
So you can't redeem the $20 billion that was coming in.
Cannot redeem, do not redeem.
Cannot redeem. And so that was the big issue. So it led to that bank failing. Yeah. But yeah, like J. Powell... Some people really like him. I think that he's been a total failure.
Yeah.
And now I do think it actually makes sense to cut rates because inflation's down significantly. And I don't know. The housing market is really like clumped up right now because everyone's stuck at these high rates with high home values and no one's coming to buy. But so his term ends, like long story short, his term ends May of next year. And the second he's out, Trump's going to put in some dude that's just going to do exactly what he wants and cut rates to probably close to 0%.
Dude, that would be like a spring going on. Like
Say what you want about Jerome Powell, but he does not care what people think about him.
He does not at all.
I have to respect that.
I actually think it's the opposite.
You think he cares too much?
I think he cares too much. I think so. It's like the 80s, I think, where we had the double inflation about that everyone talks about. He talks about it constantly, where inflation went up really high, they raise rates, inflation comes down, they start cutting, and inflation springs back up. And he is so afraid of being the Fed chairman that lets inflation go insane that he has just done nothing but make the wrong moves. I think he is too slow, Powell, because he's too afraid of making the wrong play instead of just...
He's the turtle.
Yeah, he's a turtle. He's a turtle.
He's just coming. Trump want to come out of his shell.
Yeah,
he's just retracting and retracting.
Yes.
You know, so like for the Supreme Court, it's a lifetime that you can be on the Supreme Court once you get appointed. I didn't know this, but once his term is done, I think he gets another 7 years on the board. Okay. Where they say like 7 people on the board say 2 people think they should cut rates, 1 person says do nothing, 1 person says increase rates.
Okay, well, dude, whatever with the context and whatever. I didn't say whatever. I didn't mean whatever like that. But it's like the way you put in the context about like the 1980s, that double inflation, and the way he's acting like too slow, Powell. It makes sense. Like you do not want that on your head. That you're the reason why there was a double inflation. That rest of your legacy is going to be even more like crap.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem. He's too concerned with legacy and too little concerned with just doing what makes the most sense at the time.
Who do you think is going to replace him, or do you?
I don't know. I just know it's going to be someone that's going to do exactly what Trump says.
Well, I mean, it's okay. Would you say next year, May?
May. There's been some rumors that he's been talking about resigning.
Yeah.
But he also said maybe like 2-3 months ago that he was going to 100% do out the full term. Yeah. But the thing is, markets are forward-looking. Yeah. So it's the same reason that whenever you listen to earnings calls for companies, they're talking about the forward projections of like, you see like Tesla beat earnings by 10% and then the stock falls because they don't expect them to be able to anniversary the sales.
Yeah.
The market is thinking right now, regardless of if it takes a year, rates are going to come down soon.
Okay.
And so now it's currently pricing in the fact that rates are coming down and the fact that we're going to be ramping up spending in the same way that we had previously.
That's what you said, forward looking, that it's like everyone's already like ready. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's thinking at least a quarter to 2 quarters ahead.
Yeah.
And so we know over the next couple quarters we're going to start spending. And this is just America. We haven't even really talked about like Germany ramping up, all the countries that decided that they needed to ramp up their own spending as a result of the tariffs.
Okay.
So many of our partners were like, hey, we can just be hands off for the most part because the U.S. has got us. And then Trump came in and he was like, no, dude, we're not. We're done paying for all of y'all.
Yeah.
So Germany decided to ramp up their defense spending. Japan talked about it, and China, because of the tariffs on China, they were like, hey, we can't be an export economy only from now on. We need to spend more money in trying to build up the consumer within China so that we're buying our own stuff instead of just, shipping out cheap goods everywhere. All of that costs money. And so the whole world is now ramping up the printing in the same way that the U.S. is. So
you're right. It's like a trickle-down effect of like so at the end of the day, the U.S. dollar or the dollar is king, and everyone else follows instead. So like concepts like the BRICS currency, that's never gonna.
Well, who knows? Like the U.S. dollar's lost 10% of its value against global markets this year.
Yeah.
For the top other 5 currencies in the world. So like a dollar in your pocket is worth 10 less according to the world, like 10 cents less.
Versus the currencies of
correct.
Yeah.
And especially if they move the BRICS becomes the petrodollar, that would be like the worst thing that could possibly happen in the history of the U.S.
Yeah, and so that takes us back to crypto, right? So you've heard kind of talks about the Genius Act, and the Genius Act is establishing stablecoin regulations for the United States.
Yeah.
And so stablecoins are just cryptocurrency equivalents of the dollar. So the top 2 are Tether and USDC.
And USDC is owned by Circle, which is also
and Circle, which IPO'd like a week ago.
What treasury does not want to have your own stablecoin? And I'm just trying to think of it that you control the blockchain. No one has to see what's going inside. Like no one has to see like what assets you actually have back in the USDC.
I mean, technically, probably be the opposite, right? Because blockchains, everything's transparent, so you can actually see what everybody has.
But I thought because it's like it's owned by the government, or it's like a company that they don't have to like be transparent with their blockchain, or is it?
No.
That's the whole point of the blockchain.
Okay.
So they know. They know that.
Sorry, chat.
They know that I went to this restaurant. I spent this amount of money. I had this service. I transferred money back and forth.
Yeah.
And then like it leads into social tax implications of like you didn't pick up your dog shit at the park. They're going to find you $50 before you get home, like China has right now with their social credit score. So if you move to a central digitally backed currency, then that would probably be a big issue for people that do not follow every ordinance.
Yeah.
Or that can lead to a trickle down effect too, or a slippery slope of, oh, you don't like the current administration? That's a $500 fine.
Yeah, but so the two biggest stable coins are USDC and USDT.
Yeah.
Like you said, Circle IPO this week, one of the best IPOs. It's actually one of the best IPOs in like the last decade.
Yeah.
It went up like 7x from the IPO. And you usually see everything just fall from IPO. But that tells you everyone's very excited about stable coins. The really cool thing about stable coins from the government's perspective is the stable coins currently are like within the top like 10 holders of U.S. treasuries.
Okay.
Because these guys are, so what you're doing is you're sending $10 to Circle or to Tether. They're putting that into a bank account somewhere, and they're issuing you $10 equivalent minus whatever fees they're taking of the stable coin on, typically it's on Ethereum. And they're then taking, let's say, 5 of those $10 and they're going and buying U.S. treasuries so they can get a yield on them. So U.S., like I was saying earlier, U.S. treasuries are how the government funds itself.
Yeah.
And previously you had, Canada, Japan, China. Everyone's always the trope you always hear is China owns all of the U.S.'s debt. Yeah. And then you always hear and they can call it in whenever they want to. They call it in, we're screwed. Yeah. What people really mean by that is China is one of the top holders of U.S. treasuries. Yeah. One can't call that in. You can sell them. And that's what we've seen over the last, 4 or 5 years, especially after the Russia-Ukraine war started. Yeah. Russia-Ukraine war starts, and we cut off all of Russia's access to their U.S.
Yeah. What was it? The international banking system.
SWIFT.
SWIFT.
Yeah.
But it didn't have a negative effect on the Russian economy. If anything, it showed that the Russian economy can withstand these sanctions that are coming, and other countries are kind of picking up on this little playbook.
I mean, they were fine because Russia is really strong in like the natural resource aspect, but still, it sent a message to the entire world that, hey, if you don't do what the U.S. says, we can just cut you off from the investments that you've made within the U.S. Yeah. And so you saw China sold they're consistently selling treasuries. And then a bunch of other countries just stopped buying them at the same rate that they previously were. And like I said, that's how the government funds itself. Yeah. And so as you're seeing this decrease in demand for treasuries from all these other countries, then, hey, out of nowhere comes these stablecoin companies who, as people start using stablecoins more and more and more, became that buyer. Okay. And so they ended up having a symbiotic relationship with the U.S. government of one, perpetuating the dollar's dominance throughout the world. Like you see, you remember the stories of Argentina and hyperinflation? Yeah. It was one of the worst stories of hyperinflation ever. They were going to like Bitcoin is massive in Argentina, massive in Turkey, El Salvador. Yeah, the currency. And so instead of they didn't have regular access to dollars. Yeah. But through cryptocurrencies, they were able to get dollar stable coins. Yeah.
So, I remember you told me that story. Even like in Venezuela, for example, power went out. This guy turned on the generator, connected to the satellite, still can make transactions through Bitcoin. Yes, it's like you can see what the future is. Like it's kind of hard to deny where we're headed. Digital currency is going to be a thing.
100%.
You can't fight it anymore.
You can't. I mean, in the vast majority of our banking right now, all of our interactions with our bank accounts in dollars, I don't have cash anymore. Yeah. I use a card for everything. I Venmo, I Cash App, which is essentially the same thing. Yeah. Right?
And aren't these companies like Venmo, Cash App? They're also starting to adopt a stable coin.
100%. Right? You can have Bitcoin on all of them. Yeah. Like like Visa, like all the card. Yeah, you're right. All the card companies are either dropping their own stable coins. Like I think Visa dropped one on Ethereum. Yeah. But yeah,
dude. I mean, it's the future is very exciting, but then like the older generation that can barely use a cell phone, it's just like all they hear is, but it's like it's not for them. It's like that tomorrow is for us. Like,
I mean, it's gonna take years and years and years. And honestly, a lot of them will die out by then.
That's the other point too. With the aging population, you having so many people that are old, they have to pass it to someone, whether it be a charity, their sons, their daughters, a relative. All that generational wealth will pass at some time in the next 10 years, not including the implications of the job market where you will not have the workforce you currently have because all these people are like, wow, it was actually really expensive to retire. I'm actually going to retire at 67, 69.
Yeah. So it's like with the boomer generation, right? The ones who are like still holding on to their properties, the ones who are like won't let go of any assets that they have. Well, it's like, what are you going to do with them? Okay, have you heard the, this like, not this theory, but they're like, say you make $1 billion, right? Would you want your kids to like hold on to the $1 billion, or would you?
Personally, yes.
I don't understand anything about the donation system where they're like, I'm going to donate. I just think that there's something weird then that's going on. Like Bill Gates is donating it. The guy that owns the Cavs said he's going to donate his billions.
I don't understand it at all.
Because I mean, it's like even though they're donating $1 billion, it's not like the kids are not going to have like $250 million.
Yeah,
so,
but
like,
I mean,
like,
I don't know. I think that I am going to give all of my money to my kids.
I mean, because we're like, okay, we grew up in this economy. Like, we know that like how hard it is to make money, and you want to pass it on to the next generation so they have a stable life, so they can pass it on to the next. But it's like at some point, like, I don't know if I'm for the donations exactly, because it kind of is a slap in your face that like your time is equivalent to money, or what is it? Money is equivalent to time you spent working, and it's just. Do you really want to see that donated back to the government, or do you really want to see it? Like,
I mean, anyone can do whatever they want to with their money.
Yeah.
Just me personally, I'm going to give it all to my kids.
I think the other thing too is like I've just seen like working with charities and stuff. I've just seen them blow money.
Yeah,
I know what it's going to be like if you gave it to like a certain charity, or like this whole thing with Elon busting up a bunch of these so-called NGO charities and whatnot. Like let's say you gave $100 million to them, and then you find out they like put it through USAID or something like that. Like that's just wild.
And then someone said like even though we're giving for every dollar that a charity gets, how much is actually going to the cause?
Yeah,
like,
it's always like 5% of it.
Yeah, like maybe 90% or 90 cents go to the actual company, then 10 cents worth goes to
exactly.
And when you start hearing things like that, like
you can't trust these people.
Yeah, no,
and
you can't.
For me, if I were to do a charity, I kind of want to start my own. So both my parents are veterans, and I hate the way that veterans are treated.
Yeah,
which was one of the things I really loved about Trump's campaign, because he constantly talked about that.
Yeah.
And like you have so many homeless veterans.
That is so sad though. That is
It's so sad, and it's ridiculous because they sacrificed their lives protecting us.
Yeah.
So if I were to start, I actually do want to start this charity at some point in my life to like maybe house them, maybe train them. I'm not sure. I'm not at that point yet.
Train them to do what?
Train them to work at the They're well trained. Maybe hire them as a private security force. I have no idea.
Dude,
but
I mean, you're going to need that later. It seems like the world's moving to private police at a certain point.
100%
because they got private firefighters and all that stuff.
Dude, I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine just talking about industries that we think will make sense, like as AI gets better and better and better. And I do think that private security is going to be a massive one.
Dude, I mean, we've seen where like if we really want to play devil's advocate, like it's. Or what you said earlier about like the government tells you what to do, and you can see that we've spent a lot of money on defense, a lot of money on the military. Then maybe you start like okay, what was that? The private military corps, like Blackwater, like organizations like that.
Black something.
Yeah. But it's just like you can see the emergence of like PMCs like a lot more. You know what I mean? Like as war's not going to go anywhere, war's not going anywhere, and I don't think taxes are going to go anywhere either. So
I mean, you're seeing in all of these countries, like the immigration problem is a huge issue.
Yeah. And
people feel less safe. Like I see a video of some girl crying in New York every single day, or like France or Italy. Like, I would love to, check out this beautiful city, but I can't because I'm constantly being harassed.
Yeah.
And you look at places like South Africa, everybody in South Africa has private security.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you can see it's heading that way, and it's just, it sucks that you do live in a more unsafe world. As much like, okay, there is like, I am a supporter of immigration, but to a degree. And that, like, you need to understand, like, who's coming in and who's actually, like...
I think it's a reasonable ask.
Yeah, 100%. You need to understand, like, what your populace is. Because how many... I don't know if you want to go down this route, but like how many like illegal immigrants came in during Biden administration?
Exactly, the most ever. Yeah.
And then
the last year was apparently insane.
We almost went to war with Iran, and they're like, okay. And then I don't know if it was a meme or something, but I'm going to activate my sleeper cells.
Yeah, it's like, but you're dead serious right now, though.
There's like security reports that came out that you don't know who's in your country, and you don't know, like our electrical infrastructure is like so vulnerable. Anyone can destroy that. Like there's a lot of hot points that they could attack if they wanted to, and like take down America, which is so crazy to think that almost happened. That was like only a week ago or 2 weeks ago that we almost went to World War III almost started.
Yeah, I don't know.
The 12-day war.
Yeah,
I love how you ended that. It's over now. It's what we know as a 12-day war. Israel, stop.
Yeah. Let's wrap up the big beautiful bill topic, and let's just say, what is the one thing that you think will be the most important in the big beautiful bill?
Yeah, it goes back to what I was saying previously. I don't really think the contents are the main point.
Okay. How about a prediction?
Everything goes higher.
Everything
goes significantly higher.
You heard
off
it here
the back
first,
of
folks.
this. You heard it here first. Everything is going much higher. I've not been this bullish since probably like 2021, like post-COVID spending.
Yeah.
This is
which is wild.
And I mean, I am full bull right now. I think that the markets scream higher, and yeah, we'll see if I'm right.
I mean, yeah, it's like I hope you're right. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So thanks.
What is yours, Brijesh?
My prediction,
and then I will give mine.
Yeah. So my bad. So my prediction, money machine goes brr. Like I think spend like
brr.
You think we're gonna print more money in the bill that says we're gonna print more money?
No, it's just like, but this was obvious. This was always obvious that there's no way we can like actually stop printing money at this point. We've reached an inflection point. We've come to the point where it's like no one has a real savings anymore. No one sees that like it's. Who is it? Who's the Dave Ramsey?
Yeah.
I love Dave Ramsey. Don't like get me wrong, but it's like that was a logical way to approach his economic, when his environment that he was in. But that's not viable for us.
It's not. It doesn't work anymore.
No, because it's like the yield that you're getting, even if you put in a savings account, the yield doesn't offset how quickly your money is
It's inflation. You have to beat inflation. That's the whole name of the game, is beating inflation. And you can't really just... So the really interesting thing is if you chart... So M2 is global money supply. So it's essentially the rate that the supply of money is increasing globally. If you chart S&P 500 over M2, it's essentially a flat line.
Yeah.
If you chart basically everything except for crypto, tech stocks, and even gold. Gold is basically a flat line, so you're basically just holding on to your purchasing power.
Yeah.
In order to beat it, the only things that are beating it right now are crypto and tech stocks.
Yeah.
So,
but okay, I guess I don't want to get too far off. Like I know we've been on this topic for a while, but with tech stocks, aren't there 7 or 8 companies that are actually even holding up the stock market right now?
Yeah, it's FANG is basically 40%.
Yeah. Okay, so it's technically we're in a bubble, right?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so this is another interesting point. So y'all seen The Big Short, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so 0809 was, I think, the other mass. So you've had 3 really in our lifetimes: 0809, COVID, and right now.
Yeah.
Well, the .com bubble, but we're not all there.
Yeah,
we weren't sentient.
Yeah, we're still learning to walk.
I don't even remember that. It's Y2K.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard stories. But so 0809, we had the massive real estate bubble.
Yep.
And as a result, so the scene in The Big Short where Steve Carell's in the strip club and the stripper's like, I got 6 houses. and then he walks out and he's like, there's a bubble. There's a bubble.
Yeah.
That, I think that was such a big inflection point because that bubble blew up.
Yeah.
And then we essentially printed our way out of it. Obama printed us out of it.
Yeah.
And at that moment, there was kind of an unspoken agreement between the government and the people that essentially we're not going to let all of this fail.
100%. They
Right?
came and
Too
bailed
big to
out
fail.
all-
Too big to fail.
Yeah.
And so I think here's another bold prediction. I don't think we're going to get recessions that last very long anymore because we're just going to end up printing our way out of it because we at this point cannot deal with pain.
Yeah.
You saw this, was it spring? The stock market came down.
Yeah.
People were losing their minds.
Yeah.
Stock market is up like 10x over the last 10 years.
And how long did it last? It did not even last that long. It rebounded really quickly.
It was 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months, and everyone's freaking out. Everyone's turning on Trump.
We know that from the Eric Trump tweet. Great time to buy.
Yeah,
and
great time to buy.
He waited for
Thank
it to
me
get
later.
good profit, and he was like, "I told you."
Yeah, it's like down 30%, just pure silence, and then it's like up 1% from his text. He's like, "Yeah, you're welcome."
I think probably the biggest thing that's going to come out of this bill is going to be the implications for people's taxes. Like I think because it's moved the tax bracket up where it favors the top heavy people that are in it, and then also there's going to be implications of it possibly removing like taxes I think are BS, like property taxes. Like how can you pay 12 grand, 16 grand a year for something you've owned and paid off for 30 years? That's just crazy. But then it's like there's also silent taxes like insurance. Like one of the things that this doesn't talk about is like, okay, we're going to stimulate the economy. The biggest employer in the majority of states now in America is insurance companies. In 2000, it was manufacturing. So like, what's it going to be in another 25 years in 2050?
Exactly.
And I also just want to tell you, since we passed July and we're in mid-July, we are closer to the year 2050 than we are to the year 2000.
Great, we're old. Don't worry, we'll live forever.
Point of no return.
Technology's coming. You've seen Altered Carbon, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, knock on wood.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
I'm a big believer in longevity.
100%. It's so I guess you gave your did I even give a theory about what I think is going
Yes, you said they were going to print more money in the bill. They said they were going to print more
Why'd
money.
you say it like that?
And I quote Burr.
Speaking of longevity, you want to last a long time. You'd call Vincent Smith at Remax Experts for all your real estate needs. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or you need to move out of your current pad in exchange for a change of scenery, Vince is a lifelong Memphis area native licensed in Tennessee and Mississippi, and he can help you navigate this tricky market like an expert. Call Vince, your trusted friend in real estate, at 901-240-8274 anytime, and he will take great care of you and treat you like family. Call Vince today. You can find him on social media at Vincent Smith, all one word, _ Mid-South Homes, all one word. Vincent Smith _ Mid-South Homes.
Thank you, Vincent.
Thank
Love
you.
Shout out to our ad reads. You can find us on X, Spotify, Instagram.
Can you find us on X right now?
No, you can't. We're in a lot of trouble.
Shadow ban.
Brijesh tweeted something and it violated the community rules. I'm not sure. We're still trying to investigate what it is.
Brijesh is a bot.
Okay, I will
I
say
used it, and it's like you're out of here.
Apple Podcasts, where you find podcasts. I will say on all the things, we have got warnings from using stuff like, say, copyright or something like that, just randomly. But it explains to you what it is. I have a problem with X because it tells you nothing about what you did, what you violated. It just says you've been banned for community rules. Like it's 2016.
You can apply or you can appeal it, and it's like, okay, you got to log. It's the whole process is kind of annoying.
Do we appeal it or do we just start a burner?
Dude, I've been trying to appeal it.
You appeal it.
I think we start a burner.
Just appeal it. I got banned for talking shit.
About what? How deep?
I can't remember. Someone posted something. I quote tweeted them, then they had all their followers
raid you?
Yeah, and report me.
What's this guy's name? Tell us what's his name.
I can't even remember. I've blacked it out. It was a dark period because it was like 24 hours. I was like, oh man, I spent all this time on this Twitter. I'm not gonna have it
building
anymore.
it up with the follow. Engagement is so hard to get, but it's so rewarding on Twitter. Yes. So I feel that.
Yes, and I spent the next 24 hours writing appeal after appeal after appeal. And eventually they gave me my account back. And I was like, I'm just never talking about anything again, like negatively about anybody.
That does kind of suck that now. Like, at least he's like Elon. Was Elon, did he take over Twitter by then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was like, last year.
Well, that kind of like, I don't know. It's just you want to engage, on social media, but then you have these like quote unquote unspoken rules that you don't break. Because we did with TikTok.
Yeah, we did. There was like we have a service that puts music behind some of our clips.
Yeah,
and it was like use this free uncopyrighted music, and then they're like, this is copyrighted.
Then
he contacted us and said stop using it.
Yeah, and then I said something bad about TikTok, which I love you, TikTok. I love you so much. I love using your software and program.
We love TikTok. There's nothing wrong with TikTok.
It throttled all our views, dude, for the next couple of like videos we posted. Which, the point where it's like you can obviously tell, like, of course we're not big enough to get shadow banned, but it's like
no, dude, anyone can be shadow banned.
Yeah, it like that really sucked. Even like you got to be careful on YouTube too. You're not. It's just I wish the guidelines were a little bit more specific, or they would tell you what you're doing, because then you have to like figure out after the fact that like none of the content you posted has any, because you don't want to repost your stuff over and over again either, because it's just like I remember last week it was just this is my fault. But
I don't know.
I haven't told you this one yet, Jimmy.
Yeah,
but
probably. I was like, what?
That's the same reason I didn't post anything today. We got last Saturday. We got like soft shadow banned, and like none of our views. Like this was like right.
You're
after.
dropping hard R's.
No.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yeah, watch my previous content and find out.
We've been dropping the N-word a lot.
No.
Nuclear.
Yeah.
That was a big clip.
I was on a call with Netanyahu. He dropped the N-bomb a lot. Nuclear.
Dude. But it was just like, again, this is the future.
Just so everyone's aware, that's a callback joke to Trump saying that he dropped that word and then saying the word was nuclear.
Yeah.
We are in no way making fun of that.
No. Hey, bathroom break?
Yeah, go for it.
100%. Call WCWS Law Firm today. Our expert attorneys are here to make the process smooth and stress-free with services like settling estates, managing wills, resolving disputes, handling trust, and guiding you through every legal detail. Based right in the heart of Memphis, we're your local probate pros. Reach us at 901-523-1844 or visit WCWSlaw.com now.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thanks for our sponsors again. You can find us. Don't forget, we've got that subscriber contest going on, Brijesh. What is that?
So basically, we're running a lottery. Once we hit our 1,000 subscriber, we're gonna pick between our 1,000 subscriber, and we're gonna take this lucky person on a date to the Bass Pro Shop
on YouTube.
And we're gonna have you come and sit in, and we'll do a little podcast with you. And if you're not from the local area, we'll do a Zoom podcast. We'll also send you a rack of Rendezvous ribs, sponsored by Jimmy.
Yes. Just so we're clear,
sponsored by Jimmy's bank account.
0 PS5s.
0 PS5s. Again, we're running a lottery to see who, once we reach 1,000 subscribers, who is going to come and join us on our podcast. Because also, just thank you for helping us grow. We're already at 193 followers.
Yeah, that's sick. And we're just starting.
Yeah, dude. We're gonna put John's social media on here if he wants it. He's got some free Madden code, so everyone reach out to him for 2026 Madden.
Maybe, probably not.
Just DM him or leave an extended voice message in the DM.
Again, like and subscribe. Help us grow. We love y'all. Thank you for the support so far and all the love. Only the love. We love the love, but
So for the transition for this, I think the big beautiful bill can be described as boring but important.
Yeah.
Like if you read through it, okay?
Important. Yeah.
So now to talk about something that people are saying, like today, the president said it's not important because it doesn't exist and it never happened. And he's a lot of disinformation coming out of the White House today about this. But it is interesting is the Epstein files.
Yeah. So this is another one of those along the same lines of beautiful bill.
I think this is our JFK. This is our JFK moment where there's a lot of weird stuff that's going on.
Yeah, it's just the funniest part was, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago? Elon was like, they're not releasing the bill because Trump is, or they're not releasing the list because Trump is 100% on it. And Trump's like, no, dude, no.
And then he apologized. Yeah. And now he's back on his smear campaign.
What did Elon say? Hey, I'm sorry, I spoke. Like, it was like basically like someone started reconcile with their ex. Hey, I spoke out of term.
Yeah, dude, the best memes were like the bro crying, looking at his phone. Yeah. His girlfriend's like, what's wrong? He's like, Elon and Trump are fighting.
Oh my God. Yeah. But okay, one thing I do want to just start this off with, I want to apologize personally to the ghost of Jeffrey Epstein. I'm sorry for misaligning you. I didn't know you were innocent of all charges. I didn't know you didn't commit a crime. I wish you didn't commit suicide because you would have been free. Like,
you did nothing wrong.
You did absolutely nothing wrong, and I'm so sad that you died. And now let's talk about the Epstein files and how they don't exist.
So let's start with his death. So the big campaign has been like nobody in the media for a long time would touch that he did not kill himself. They would like have people at the end of their interviews say, "Hey, thanks for the interview. By the way, Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself." And then they cut. So like this was an untouchable topic, just like it was to say that COVID was not released from a Wuhan lab.
Yeah, and one big thing was, have you heard of Michael Bowden?
No.
So he was the top forensic pathologist, like the most famous one in America. Okay. And he reviewed the files, and it's like, there's no way this man killed himself. And it's like his testimony has weight because he's been on multiple not high value. Like, was it a high value?
Are you talking about podcasts?
Not podcasts, like a high value podcast. No, I'm like high value cases where like his testimony is like
high
profile.
Dude, you're always one word off. You're like one tongue tied.
There were only two.
What was the one you had last week where you were like trying to say something?
Not windmill, right? It was
windmill.
Windmill, yeah.
We have windmill.
Yeah, when the alien crashed into the windmill.
Yeah,
and it was like I was like couldn't stop laughing.
The thing that spins in the sky with the wind.
Yeah, but one it just I we're doing too much of a segue, but it was just so dumb. Like you are an intergalactic being, and this is 1861.
What if they hadn't seen windmills?
But it's just like, how do you crash into a 30-foot?
Because they hadn't seen it before. It's spinning.
Who's hiring you?
Yeah.
How'd you get the job?
Yeah. So you're talking about this coroner, this autopsy expert.
Yeah, so he came out and said that looking at the autopsy, this man does not look like he committed
seppuku.
Should have not seppuku.
Yeah, we'll just say seppuku.
Yeah, okay, we'll say seppuku.
I'm almost positive they're saying that the cause of death was strangulation. Not that he. That's what the argument is. It's not that he died from self-infliction, that he died from strangulation.
Like even his brother came out, Mark Epstein, and he was saying my brother did not
assets to his brother within a week before he died. So like one could say that he knew something was coming. I'm not saying that, but one could say.
Yeah, I mean, the wild part is Maxwell's in prison. If they didn't do anything wrong, then
and
why is she in prison?
They move her around constantly, and it's not because she needs a new cell with a window or something. It's they don't want her to have probably the same fate. And then I just don't understand this at all because William Barr even came out and said this was the single biggest failure of the criminal justice system he's ever seen.
Next to Diddy, right?
No, he did not. William Barr and P. Diddy have nothing in common.
I know, but it's just like you're right. So there were thousands of victims. Multiple came out to testify against them. But the way they're handling right now, so you're basically trying to say, like, spit in everybody's face. It's an obvious like cover up that Ghislaine Maxwell was not responsible for like procuring these women. That Jeffrey Epstein was the sole like person interacting with these like women. He's the one abusing all of them, even though. Who was it? Pat, what's her name? What is her name? I can't find it.
Well, back to John's point, they were talking about the affiliation with Donald Trump. I believe one of the other things, too, is that Donald Trump has said multiple times that he even removed him from his country club in Florida because of an incident that he had with an underage person at the club.
This is when Alexander Acosta was the AG of Florida, and he was told by higher-ups that he's been quoted as saying... that he's intelligence. That is, oh my God. Yeah. We're gonna cut that part.
Dude, I think it's we're not cutting this. The intelligence agency has poisoned your Red Bull. That's what it is. They're coming after you.
It's through the Wi-Fi.
It's that Russian plutonium 199 in your drink.
Oh, you're gonna see me. Alexander Acosta was quoted as saying he's intelligence and he's above my pay grade. And so that's like he had 6 years so far to like set the record straight, but he hasn't like corrected what he said. And then Pam Bondi, the current AG of America, or Attorney General of America.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
AG. Yeah, she said she has over 10,000 hours of.
The wild part is, should we start there? So the wild part about Pam Bondi is that it began. Trump was like, "Hey, we have the list and we're releasing it," and then it changed to, "Hey, we're releasing a redacted version of the list." Then it changed to, I can't remember what I said.
No, nothing worse than when they released the redacted part of the list was they had the binders and they were like, ooh, but it's already the stuff they've already released that's redacted. And that was one of the main things that he's now pivoting on, that he ran on, that he would release this.
Yes.
His sons are tweeting about it in 2022, being like, we're going to do it. And now there is no list. And the list was actually a hoax. And if I was on the list, it would have been released by now, because why wouldn't they have released it the last 2 times I was running for president?
Exactly. And like the funniest rebuttal of that is like, if you are on the list, so why wouldn't you just release it now?
Yeah, exactly.
And what did Pam Bondi say? She had over 10,000 hours of video evidence.
Right. And then John was saying earlier, it's sitting on her desk. So it's gone from existing, reviewed, sitting physically on the desk, to now it does not exist at all. And it's caused a big fracture between Pam Bondi, who's put herself out there, which seems like she's saying the truth, because no one said she wasn't saying the truth until like the last 2 weeks. And now she's in a huge argument with Kash Patel and Boninga.
No, Bondini.
Bondini?
Yeah.
I don't think it's Bondini. I think it's Boninga.
Whatever.
It's
whatever it is,
Boninga.
they failed the American public, because they ran on the fact that they were going to release the Epstein list. They're going to release all this evidence. We're going to get to the bottom of it. Completely changed their tune when they got into power. Maybe they were threatened. Maybe something happened. But regardless, they've like failed the American public.
And so like, and then Trump tweeted today, "Hey, I'm sick of talking about Epstein. Let's stop talking about him. This isn't a big deal." Yeah. And I think it's totally tone deaf. I think they don't realize how much all of us do not fuck with that kind of stuff.
Even Steve Bannon flipped today and said, if these do not come out before the primary elections, where they take the pulse of the nation for the House of Representatives, they will lose 20 to 40 seats in the House.
100%.
What are some of the implications with the Epstein case? That if he is intelligence, that most likely CIA and Mossad are involved. That this is a higher, like this is way bigger than just the abuse that they cause to these children. That like there's prominent transatlantic elites are involved in this case, and that you're basically what him coming out and saying is that there's no evidence, there was no crime committed, is basically not a signal to us, it's a signal to the elites that we will go to the ends of the earth to keep you safe.
I mean, it just confirms the fact that there's a deep state running everything.
Well,
100%.
What it has to be to me is that someone that's in there, or a group of people, or a fraction of the people that are on the list that have not been revealed, are saying, do it, and I will burn the world down with the information that I have about you. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, you show me yours, I'll show you mine. Yeah. And now we both like, for lack of a better term, they both got pictures of each other doing something.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the whole point of this podcast is just Trump really seemed like he was going to be something, a massive departure from what we're used to in politics. And everything in the last month has just been him doing a full reversal back to status quo.
It's been him fall in line.
He's sneaking into the swamp.
Yeah,
he just hit his golf ball there. He's just got to grab it and he'll be right back.
He's sleeking into it.
No, he's not sleeking. He did a cannonball.
Yeah, for real. And it's unfortunate, but it is
unfortunate because there's a lot of victims who some of the prominent people that have committed seppuku are Virginia Giuffre, one of the lead victims in this case. She was 41 years old. She has 5 kids. And she was one of the most prominent with Epstein and testifying against that. And she committed seppuku in Australia at 41 years old. And she was one of the prominent, one of the lead victims that was like starting to testify against Epstein and everything he's done.
Key material witness to said facts, allegedly.
Yeah. There's going to be so much editing I have to do.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Last 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, you are.
Well, I'll tell you what. let's wrap. This is a tricky subject, but we can all agree that it's very weird, the policy shift from we're releasing the files to there are no said files. Why are you even asking about the files? Quit asking about the files.
Yeah, and we even talked about the video editing.
Yes. Well, we can talk about that the video video is proven that it's been edited in Adobe Acrobat like multiple times, more than 3, less than 4.
And what was it? There's apparently 1 minute missing, and it's like, don't worry, we have multiple videos that show that 1 minute is missing every single day. Which
for 11 years,
you can't say something like that, dude. It's like an admission that okay, there's a minute missing. Then you also find that this video has been edited. You also find didn't they tell us for the longest time this video didn't even exist?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's just like.
Yeah, weren't the cameras supposed to be out?
Yeah.
And the guards were asleep.
Yeah. How does that happen in the most secure facility in America? You're on seppuku watch, and you're somehow the guards end up falling asleep.
Yeah,
it's
all just sketchy.
It's
all
sketchy.
very sketchy.
It's also, if it is truly a minute, that's all that's missing. That is quite impressive cover-up material right there. That they've transpired all this in under 60 seconds. They had been practicing in like a fake cell and stuff like that.
Yeah, SEAL Team 6 executed this one.
Well, apparently the camera angle is not even facing his cell, so it's just like there's so much BS going on, and it's like you don't know, is it the start of the video that's missing or is it the middle of the video? Like they said 1 minute, and you can if they're using AI and if you're using Adobe Acrobat, you can do so much magic with that.
There's you can go down this rabbit hole for the end of time where people are out there saying like he has links to like, you can look this up, like you can look at it, that it's linked to like SpongeBob and like other stuff. Like they're making fun of it, kind of like the Illuminati. It's in front of you, and they're making fun of it. I don't want to get too far out there. I'm just saying those are theories that are conspiracy theories online.
So you keep tabs on billionaires, right? You kind of know how they became. Oh, I know not every single billionaire, but like you keep tabs.
He's fascinated with our naughty billionaire side.
It's like you know their backstory, how they made their billions. This man has no backstory. Everything was donated to him. You have people like Lex. What was his name?
Friedman?
Wexner. Leslie Wexner, the owner of I was about to say Adobe. What is it? Victoria's Secret and Abercrombie. He made him the power. Like he made Epstein the power of attorney to the point where if Epstein wanted to, he could sell the whole company. And that was his right. How does that happen?
They talk about that in The Social Network, where he's like, that's what he explains to him, where he's like, that's the whole conversation that they have in the movie.
In the bar, right?
Right, where he says, it's cooler than $1 million, $1 billion. Because they talk about that guy, and then that guy ended up
seppukuing
himself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He sells it early and then jumps off a bridge.
There's just a lot of he was so he got promoted. He had a really high position to Barclays, where he got fired later, or Barclays, and it's just like you see one weird, like he has no accreditation to be in the position that he's in. Someone's helping him go through the ranks to get to a position where, like, this has been going on since the 80s, like for a very long time. He's been part of the social fabric of the United States. Everyone knows him. Who's from George Stephanopoulos to Trump to like most prominent media figures. They all had interactions with Epstein at one point. Not saying they all like did naughty stuff, but it's just he was prolific.
Yeah.
And being that prolific, having that like low of an ID, like a media ID, how do you even achieve that? And then the cost of coming out and saying that he was intelligence, this was above my pay grade. It's just so fishy on so many different levels that, again, this is not to satisfy the American public. This is more of a cue to the Venetian court of Imperium, that we have your back, that we will go to the ends of the earth. Even though like people like Cash Patel or Bondini or Pam the AG, even though they all ran on truth, they completely did a 180 once they got into power.
I mean, maybe it's like a mutually assured destruction thing, like you were saying, but
there's one other cope that people have been saying that I've read. It's Trump basically has a list and he wants a smooth presidency, and he's basically threatening everybody that if you don't want to release a list, do not cause any disturbance in the president. But it's like, that's cope.
That sounds like cope.
Yeah.
Well, it is pretty wild that it's like either come next week, either Pam Bondi is going to resign or quit, or she's not going to be at her job, or Cash Patel and the other guy are threatening of a mutual destruction where they will quit.
Yeah, but if you have any ounce of character, I think you should resign. You should 100% resign. But then again,
I don't know. I don't know what the story is. All I know is what we were told when they were. All I know is what we were told when they were all running.
Yeah.
And what has happened now is there's a massive change. It's 100%. Very sketchy.
Yeah.
But who knows what actually happened? Who knows if he has ties to Mossad? Who knows if it's, some other kind of cabal or something like that?
Yeah. Even that.
All I'm saying is it's obviously sketchy. And it's pretty cool that, typically people who are on one of the two sides of politics is just like, hey, I'm 100% with them. So like, if Biden does anything, it doesn't matter. If he has dementia, it doesn't matter. I'm still, on his side.
All ducks in a row.
Yeah, ducks in a row. Like if Trump does anything, doesn't matter. I'm still on his side.
Yeah.
MAGA has been like, hey, we really do not fuck with this at all. Like, if you
100%.
guys are not going to
Very
release
vocal.
this list, we are done with you.
Yeah.
And I respect that a lot.
Yeah, they're becoming the America First movement.
It's like that's where like if Elon wasn't leading it, if somebody else would have better like a better format to the party would make sense, because I don't think MAGA in itself is like Republican as much as
100%.
it's like it's a cult of like personality that Trump. Yeah, like most of us don't see Trump as a Republican. He's an outsider that came in, and it's just this is a base that the Democrats lost. I mean, they had like full control of it. No one ever thought that there would be such a steep departure from the Democratic way of thinking. Who is it? Their voting base in the Republican completely changed. You had minorities voting from everybody voting for him. It wasn't for the Republican Party.
Yeah, 100%.
It was the fact that Trump came into office. He was a force of change. People in New York were they were like asked, did street interviews, who'd you vote for? Oh, they're like, I voted for Trump and I voted for AOC. Why? Because they departed from the establishment, and I can put my vote for them because I believe they have my best intention. Like who whenever have you heard that I voted for a Republican and a Democrat?
Yeah,
you know,
which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So it just goes to show that you're disenfranchising your base right now. And come 2 years from now, when we're doing what is it? When we're going back to the polls again to vote for like
midterm elections.
Like you're about to see you're about to see the pulse of the nation. It's like it's no longer we can see the fractures happening. We're no longer like really guided by these party ideals. It is whoever the best man is in charge, best woman or whatever.
I think you're underestimating the impact of this tied to the big beautiful bill, that if there is a golden bull run, none of this will matter. The same way if you have off-field problems in the NFL and you win all 16 games, it doesn't look as big as if you lose 8 of those games and go 8-8.
Yeah, like what's the better way to distract people from Epstein?
Ooh, new shiny thing.
Yeah. Run the markets up ridiculously.
Yep. And be like, what happened?
Yeah.
What was it? Give them bread or give them cake and give them circus?
Yeah, it's like the whole the Roman thing. If you control the people, control everybody.
Give
so
them
they
cake
the
and give them
circuses and
circus.
everything.
Yeah.
Cake is Marie Antoinette.
Cake.
Let them eat cake.
Give them bread. Give them.
Let them eat cake.
Bread and circus is the Roman.
I mean, it's crazy to think. Like, okay, before we get off of this, but it's just crazy to think where we read in like our history, not even like ancient history, like recent history, the French Revolution, how that happened. Your courts were so corrupt. They were so like misaligned with what the public wanted, and that ended up causing a revolution to happen. I'm not going for a revolution or anything, but you can see that like this was also going to be considered, like when we look back into the history, that this era right here is just another nod to the Venetian court.
This a counterculture podcast.
Why you have you on the record, Brijesh? Where were you on January 6th?
Yeah. and 9/11 for that.
My God,
learning how to walk.
You took it to a whole other level.
But so I think that's really interesting because I'm kind of surprised we haven't reached some kind of revolutionary movement.
Yeah,
and I think it's going to be significantly more difficult now than it was previously.
Yeah, you have companies like Palantir.
Yeah, well, like even past that. It goes back to your point about Rome and the circus. With AI, you're going to have so much distraction and so much dopamine. It's going to be so much easier to have the population just kind of
run it up,
sedated.
Sedated. So,
I can figure out other people's words, but not my own.
Yeah, just like anesthetized.
Well, let's wrap this up. Do you guys think, just yes or no, starting with John, ending with me, do you think the files will come out by the end of the year? I mean,
no.
You're in the middle. I'm not skipping you.
That's
why you're laughing. Okay.
No,
I don't think they will. I think that if they were going to, they would have.
I think Jeffrey Epstein's innocent.
Okay. I don't think you want that on the record, but I don't think they're going to come out either.
Yeah. I think
this will be another 4 years of the exact same thing, and then this is going to be a thing in the 2028 presidential debate if this does not come out.
Yeah,
it doesn't. But I can see this like being just as significant as the JFK assassination. This is going to be talked about for decades. That this was such a like.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it will be. so many controversial things happen, and then the next week a new controversial thing happens, and we completely forget about the previous one.
But
it is so easy to be distracted, especially when you have everyone on IG, Twitter, any type of social media. And then there's a constant stream of controversy, and the Overton window shifts so quickly. Yeah. So everyone's gonna be pissed about this now, but like we were just saying, if the market starts ripping, people are making money. People are like, you know, actually, I kind of like this Trump guy. I'll kind of
even talking on the Overton window. Like again, 2 weeks ago, we were about to go to war.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not even in there.
Now, no one cares about Israel.
Yeah, we posted a clip, and it was 4 days later, and everyone was like, "You guys are idiots. It's over." We were like, "Yeah, we know that it was going on then."
Exactly. You have to do everything live because no one cares about anything 24 hours after it happens. You see all these shootings, and then it's a massive story the day of, maybe a couple days, and the next thing happens, and everyone completely forgets about that thing.
Like again, like what happened in Texas, just like 2 days
exactly.
ago.
I hadn't thought about that for the last 2 days.
Horrific flood that killed about 173 people were affected. I think 100 died. There's still like 100 more that are still missing, which are presumed dead.
Everyone's calling for Ted Cruz's head now.
Dude, again,
he went to Cancun one time. Brijesh loves Ted Cruz.
Dude, oh my God, he lives rent free in my head. This man's a Canadian, does not know the Bible.
Is he Canadian?
He's Canadian.
I didn't know that.
He's Canadian.
Yeah.
He's Canadian.
Only because everyone was roasting him over the Texas stuff recently.
But then, even now, he was in Greece, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, I tried to come back as quickly as possible. I tried to come back. Dude, how much do your like own inner circle hate you? They leak the text messages of your own conversation. Like you are that's what I mean. Like why I don't think Epstein would ever disappear, because you have hollow personalities like this who are in charge of power. How'd you get there? Like this is the ramifications of it. Like it's.
I mean, everything is kind of becoming nihilistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like the whole meme coin craze going on.
Yeah.
And all of this stems back, in my opinion, to the money printing. Yeah. Because all the value has been stripped from everything that we previously, like the country was built on and we applied value to. And now you have, you go to work every single day and you provide what you think is a good service for, the world. And then you have guys and I love these guys, Speed, Kai, Aiden, who are signing, $600 million deals for streaming, just really nothing.
Whistling Diesel.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
He's a moneymaker.
Yeah, well, I mean, all of them are printing so much money, and it's like the whole... We've stripped value from things, from basically everything that
doctors, lawyers, or anything.
Yeah,
you can ask a kid what's your top career choice? I want to be a streamer, influencer. You're right. Like it's what. I mean, we're doing a podcast right now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the exact same line of thinking.
Exactly. Like what has perceived value, which I don't know how much of a tangent I want to get here, but it's like how amazing is it that like a first world nation, we don't have any major export. Our major export is like entertainment.
Yeah.
That is so crazy to think that we reached a position like that.
Yeah, but you have to think entertainment is the most valuable resource right now. Exactly. Attention economy.
Yeah.
All that matters is being able to attract a bunch of eyeballs and then essentially direct them to a product.
Exactly. It's
the most valuable skill in the world.
It is, and it's just what you said about it goes back to economics. It goes strictly back to economics. What do you see happen? Like not that reason we started our podcast was strictly economics.
They just want to sell you stuff.
Meme coins.
Click our TikTok shop link.
Yeah. But it's like, again, like this is like what 90% passion. No, not what. Let's say 100% passion. It is passion right now.
20% skill.
20%.
5% passion and thrill.
And 100% reason to remember the name.
Well, let's move on.
What I was saying.
Let's move on to something lighter.
This whole thing has been kind of heavy.
But it's like these are the conversations that are fun to have.
So I know I love this. Yeah, I love it. So what TV shows you been watching?
We'll move. We're finishing with the Love Island recap. Don't think I let you escape that.
Ooh,
you can tell us all about it.
Hey, so I'm a huge Love Island fan.
Hit me because I haven't watched a single. I've seen multiple
Explain the concept of Love Island.
All right. None of y'all need the concept of Love Island explained. I guarantee that.
All right.
But for these two, essentially they have this villa it started in the UK.
Yeah.
Now they have a US version. They have this villa in Fiji. They invite 5 attractive dudes, 5 attractive girls.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is you have to couple up and It's just like relationship dynamics. And then so you have the original 10 and they're constantly throwing new hot people in and trying to break up the relationships. The winning couple at the end gets $100,000.
You're gonna be totally
So you take a bunch of hot people, put them on islands, and just have everything taken care of, and then just record the interactions between them all, basically.
Well, I mean, that's a reality TV show. That's...
It's the GOAT of reality TV. So I'm not a huge reality TV fan.
But you're leaving out the fact that it's like American Idol. Everyone has to vote, right?
Well, this year's been a little bit different. So this year's been controversial because America has been voting a lot more. They've had much more of a say in it. But typically, you don't really have the viewing party interacting this much. So it's typically just allowing them to kind of do their thing, play out the dynamics. Producers have a bunch of games for them to play, so they explore like different relationships.
Yeah.
This year is different because everyone's been pissed off about it because essentially every single time someone's been eliminated, it's been America voting on their favorite people.
Yeah.
And then the least favorite people are left up at the front, and then the Islanders vote on who to kick off the island.
Oh my God.
Which is very, very big departure from like the...
It's become like the Olympics.
It's like Survivor or something now. But I love the show. It's been taken off. Like last season was huge, and that's led to a bunch of people watching this season. But yeah, I just love the show.
That's awesome.
The only two things I know about it are there's a female character named Huda, right?
Yeah, Huda.
And she has been getting roasted on social media because whatever someone was going to say was their perfect date, she started crying and said, that was my perfect date.
Yeah. It's like this guy
and he knew it.
Yeah.
But like people have like just cropped that over and been like, what'd you do this weekend? And it's like, I changed the transmission on my F-250. It's like, that was my perfect date. And he knew it. And then the only other thing I know about the show is there's that guy named Ace, and I don't know if it's him or somebody else said that he's like 6 feet tall, but then they've gone to his Instagram and measured him against like sriracha bottles and like a G-Wagon, and they have found out that he is somewhere between 5'6" and 5'6.5".
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
the internet will, oh my God.
It sounds like reality, like a typical show, but it is hilarious.
It's like Big Brother, but without the competitions.
Yeah,
right?
kind of.
And it's more of a love romantic interest.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a twisted concept that we have seen before, and it has moments of like American Idol where you have to vote from home, and then it's got moments of, like The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, plus it's mixed in like a Big Brother like location.
Yeah.
So it's basically like what like the departure you talked about, and the fact that we have more of a voice now. Also, I guess would increase engagement, and also like the memeable content too that they have. Again, what you said about the F-150. Oh, that's my perfect date. Yeah. It's like. Yeah, I mean, what
was the date that was her perfect date?
They went to the beach.
Okay,
they went to did a little picnic at the beach.
Sub anything in there.
Yeah. I went to lunch.
So who's your least favorite character and who's your most favorite character?
I mean, so the finals is, I want to say tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, finals is tomorrow. I think my favorite couple right now is Iris and Pepe. Okay. And so it's a Hispanic bro and this like white chick. And the funniest part is, like, both of them really loved two other people who got kicked off. So, like, the whole thing is typically you have couples, they get strong, and those strong couples would end up staying throughout the show, and one of them would end up winning. This time, every single time someone gets into a strong couple, they immediately get kicked off the show. And so these two are just kind of like, every couple they've been in, the other person gets kicked off, and they're just like, all right, fuck it, I guess we're just going to be together.
And what do you get if you win Love Island?
$100,000.
Yeah, see, like it's got to go up, right?
I 100% agree.
They got to be making so much money off these people.
I 100% agree. My sister My sister refuses to watch this show.
Yeah. I refuse to watch it. I do not watch it. It's on the background of my house. My significant other religiously watches it, then compares it to the UK version, and then tells me how much better the UK version is than the US version.
Engagement.
Yeah, it's so this girl I was dating like 2-3 years ago was obsessed with it and The Bachelor, and so she got me watching it, and I was like, you know the memes? It's like when your boyfriend's watching and he's like, "Oh man, this show's like not that good," and he's just standing in front of the TV watching it. Yeah,
what's Pepe doing?
That was me like 4 years ago, and now I'm watching it.
I feel like I watched it.
I'm convinced.
I watched it for like 5 minutes, and I was like, "Well, this guy sucks," and then it was like, "Yeah, he does." It's the British. It's the British guy that's on the American one.
I don't know. Last year?
No, this year. Isn't there a British guy that's on the American one?
Charlie.
Yes.
Charlie. Yeah.
Not a big fan.
He got eliminated. He was actually one
exactly.
of the guys
I was the voice of the nation. I cast my vote. They heard me.
Yeah. I've never voted on it. I just
here.
watch it purely for entertainment, but it is very entertaining.
Would you vote on this time?
No, I'm not. I
You
never
don't vote?
I never vote. No. I just watch.
Got too many priors.
Silent majority.
Yeah. I'm just here to enjoy the shit show.
Just voyeur it.
Yeah.
Come on, that's what we're doing. And the fact that, like, what's your ego got to be at where you're, like, okay with just being void like that, you know?
No, I mean, I think it's cool because a lot of these people now, this is back to a content thing, all these people on the show have 1 million followers now.
Yeah.
You go from hardly any followers to 1 million, and now you just created a whole new source of income off of spending 6 weeks in a villa in Fiji.
So you can
like,
see
God
why it's
forbid.
$100,000, like, because the fact that you're actually getting out of it is
It's significantly more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brijesh, spoken like a true overlord of the show.
Yeah.
It's like, you just better be lucky. You're gonna
Honestly, we should give
them.
them 20.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's the
$20,000
minimum
They should be
amount?
paying us to come on the show for all the
Dude,
engagement they're getting.
But actually, though.
No, it's moving towards that point. So this was the
Yeah.
first season where you had all the people that came on the show. They had family members or friends managing their social media accounts while they were here, which typically wasn't allowed. And it's become a whole publicity stunt. But I respect the game because I'm telling you, you go from 5,000 followers to 1 million followers in 6 weeks. And now you can have like a Twitch. Now you can have, subscriber or what's the sponsors and things like that.
Haven't there been people that have gone on there and they have like a significant other and they didn't know they were on Love Island and
There's
stuff?
all kinds of controversies that come out where like, hey, this dude was dating somebody, she was dating, they have a boyfriend back home, they're doing it just for the engagement. All that kind of stuff comes out, but
I read somewhere today some chick, she left Love Island. Now, this is like my periphery. This is my first interaction with Love Island. She left Love Island because she said some slur against Asians.
there were 2 this season.
She just
Two. So the second
see her
episode,
response?
there's this girl named Ulissa.
I think,
And she was apparently dropping just like hard R's on another podcast. People found out about it. She gets carted out.
Yeah.
Then like this week, there's this girl
And
named
she
Sierra
didn't know
who
it.
was dropping other racist slurs, and she gets carted out. And there's a clip that someone got of these 2 people being interviewed in an episode, and all you hear in the background is like her yelling, "You can't do this to me! You can't do this!"
Oh man.
No, because it was like I think it was the second one. You could see because I didn't realize the family was that involved. They were giving out like public statements. Oh, this is unacceptable. This is whatever. And then underneath it was like she had like after I've had time to marinate on this, I apologize completely and blah blah blah. Like doing the the PR that you have to do after you like say something that horrific.
Yeah.
Well, like I don't know what she said, but it's like, the way she's acting.
Just
is,
racist things.
Yeah. Because it's still, dude. No. That's still publicity at the end of the day.
telling you though, it is hilarious.
It is hilarious.
It is a
dude.
hilarious show.
Just to see the shambles.
Yeah, like you're just
They're
watching
rock.
these. It's just in front of millions of people. It's
because these
it's
are
a
normal
funny
people.
show.
These are normal people.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with your sister. I just don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
get the appeal of it. It's, I'd rather watch them like build a classic car on TV
I think
or like
yeah.
the Nature Channel.
I feel that. Yeah.
I will say, I had a real TV moment today. I was looking for something to watch, and ESPN's got no sports on, so I turned on. They had the AKC agility competition for the dogs.
What is AK? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, but then it was like the Paralympic dog agility competition,
no.
and I was like, I can't watch this. I gotta turn it off. So I was like, man, I was in between that and Love Island was about to win.
Yeah, that's like those that long ass commercial.
Yeah,
And
Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah.
We can't sing it. We can't sing it.
We won't sing it. We won't sing it. But one thing about those trainers, have you ever seen them eating the dog treats?
No.
Like the camera catches them. Like it's like they're trying to feed the dog. The dog doesn't eat it, and they quickly just like I don't know, dude. It's just like
I mean, I would hope they'd be tasty for the dogs. So
I mean, I bet they are. I bet they're high value treats.
They
They're
should.
not
Yeah,
just like-
it's probably not trash treats. It's like the caviar of dog food.
100%,
these
dude.
dogs.
They make treats that your dog and you can eat. They sell them at local pet shops.
That is wild though to get caught eating a dog treat. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
Or
what
dog
Jimmy does
food.
on the couch. Just
I
one
tried
for me,
to.
one for you, one for me, one for you.
You got no idea. I'm the ultimate dog dad. That's me and my pack.
Yeah.
I am their leader.
Yeah.
We were talking about leaders. We can move into My Roman Empire, where we all have a
Sweet.
unique history fact. So this is something that's stuck in our head for the week for My Roman Empire.
it's not aliens this time, but it will be.
So I've got one. I'll start. I want to go ahead. Mine's going to be about Albert Einstein. So I just want to read some of the things that are less
E equals
known.
MC squared.
Some of the things less known about Albert Einstein. He declined to be the first president of Israel. He knew how to play the violin since 5. He had his brain stolen for a study that's still at Princeton. I'm going to get into his brain. This is the most unique fact about him. He never wore socks. He was a clumsy sailor.
Based.
Yeah,
no
never,
socks.
Never wore socks. His reasoning, they'll get holes in them, so why would I wear something that self-destructs? It takes too much of my time.
Did he also marry his cousin?
I don't have that fact. I don't know if that's true or not. He might have.
Just slandering Epstein's name or Einstein's name. Sorry. Steve.
He was personal friends with Charlie Chaplin, and he invented a gas-powered refrigerator that ran on butane. Okay. So
what about the cousin?
I don't know. You can fact check that while
Jamie.
Yeah. Okay. Tell us.
So one of the unique things is that his brain was taken after his death for observation. It was taken to the University of Princeton to be studied. So there are some very unusual things about his brain that there's theories online that it could have been that he was one of the first people to be engineered somehow to have this unique brain type. So he's like the robot from iRobot, where he's built with like 20% denser bones and 2% more memory and all that stuff. So he had,
but post death.
Yes, correct. And he had unusual cell ratio.
Wait,
in his
so how would
brains.
he be engineered pre that?
Well, that's a question. Like, how can someone be this smart? The brain was so unusual in the scientific study that they took it out of his grave and have it still in chain of custody. So it is not with the Einstein family or in his grave. Like,
yeah.
Like
I get that part. I'm just saying, why would they think it's engineered?
I'm just saying it's a theory that's out there that
Okay.
people think like he may not have been all 100% human. He may have been engineered. He may have been part of some other weird thing that's going on.
No way.
I've got my own theory at the end.
Okay.
That I want to bring up.
It's a fun theory, but CRISPR only like genetic engineering only now has like taken off. No way.
Well, this
What
is going
do they say? The government's like 40 years ahead of us. So
this is going to tie into our ancient alien episode that'll come out after this episode.
But let me tell you why his brain wasn't engineered, because he did marry his cousin.
Okay.
So, yes, Alyssa Einstein was both Albert Einstein's first cousin on his mother's side and second cousin on his father's side.
I'll be sure to bring up a fact in the middle of yours, Brijesh.
Okay,
right.
There-
Wait, so what are his kids doing now? Or like great grandkids
my-
now? Are they all geniuses too?
No idea.
dude.
Can I get through these 4 facts about his brain?
You
For the
married
love
your
of
cousin.
God.
You can't be that smart.
Okay. He has an unusual cell ratio. He has more neurons than that they thought were possible that are linked to mathematical and spatial reasoning in his brain that were observed. He is missing a part of his brain that is a grooved absence, that fusion of the brain that potentially boosts the integration of ideas. Integration.
Integration?
Yeah,
Okay.
messing that up. He's got expanded cortexes, larger prefrontal cortex than they've seen in another brain that could be tied to his skills of the violin, playing it since the age of 5. And he has thinner but denser tissue that's never been seen, so no extra neurons, but the structure of his brain enables faster connections that were thought to be possible.
Okay, so his brain was different and he was a genius.
Okay.
All right.
So
Yeah.
That's why
Okay.
he nerfed his kids.
So
Yeah.
So why does it matter? His brain is still not with his family, okay? And it was at the Princeton Hospital since 1998 under investigation. So then I said, okay, well, in 1998, that's a long time. Where do you think his brain is now?
I don't know, does Sam Altman has it?
No, the majority,
Area
around
51.
170 blocks, is stored still at Princeton University. However, 46 thin slices mounted on microscope slides are displayed in a museum, and the other remain in different locations for heirs of for like the heirs and stuff to trace their roots and whatnot, and for it to be studied. What I think that's going on, and that's going to be out there, we have the technology now. I think that there is probably an underground layer of about 40 Albert Einsteins that are working on unique projects.
100%. You have, okay, so
Think
like
about
that.
it.
first of all,
I like that.
First of all, I would not want my lineage traced back to Einstein after reading that fact. But back to what you were saying, in China, they the first genetically engineered twins were produced who had increased cognition. There's no way, the next advancement, of course, is AI, but our neural capacity is probably limitless. and developing a super serum like Captain America or some type of super serum or super soldier, like that has increased cognition, has increased abilities. That's probably that's $1 trillion industry in itself.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, just CRISPR.
We were talking about the movie Gattaca before,
yeah.
and it's like, what if you were like, okay, for $1 billion, we'll give you Albert Einstein's brain.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess all of us want to be fathers one day. It's like, do we hold out maybe 5 more years? Because we're getting to the point where, like, of course I would want to eliminate any genetic diseases that my kids could have. But also, that once this gets introduced, you're going to have to make sure that your child's competitive with the environment. Like, would you also want to increase cognition? Would you also want to increase? But that's
a very good question.
At what point do you stop interfering with nature? At what point do you allow? Because if you've seen Gattaca,
Yeah.
So
we had to watch it in 6th grade.
I did love that movie. That's such a good movie, dude. But it was like, at what point have you taken a step too far? Like, at what point are you trying to smother the human spirit? Or are you it's just a complicated, until it actually happens in society, you don't really know what the outcomes are going to be. But first things first, a side note, how Elon Musk has all male heirs. He doesn't have a single daughter. That's okay. There's something going on there. But the rich and the elite are going to have first dibs on this technology. Then it would only make sense that everyone else has to follow, because if you have these genetic freak overlords, you want to be competitive with them too. So it's just out of necessity, I think everyone, if you have the opportunity, is going to try to genetically engineer the child.
I mean, I think it'll be super controversial in the beginning, but then if your kids are just getting outperformed by this, group of super kids, then
you have
there's nothing you can do except do the same thing.
Once someone opens the can of worms, then it's open.
Yeah. Because, I mean, look, we're finally, we're living in, even though our surroundings seem still from the 2000s, we are living in the future. We have Neuralink that's about to be available to the vast majority, which is supposed to compete with AI's level of cognition, which is crazy to think.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, if you have a genetically engineered kid with a Neuralink, what have you created, dude?
Yeah.
It's
so the back to the longevity point. It's if you think that in your lifetime we'll figure out how to make people immortal, does it make sense for you to just do everything you can to live as long as possible to that point?
Yeah. Who's the person?
Brian Johnson.
It's his protocol he follows is very it's hard, but he said multiple times, I enjoy every single day I'm doing this, because it's. I mean,
I don't really get down with him mixing his son's blood with his blood.
Yeah, that's I'm not sure he still does it. I think he was just testing it out. But it was this week or last week where he got tested, and he's now aging at 0.5. His what's the
rate of aging? He was I remember Jesse West, some fitness influencer, was comparing his blood to Brian Johnson, and he had a lower rate of aging than the fitness influencer.
Yeah, it's every 2 years his body ages 1 year now.
Yeah, and then it's even his physical his protocol that he does for physical activity. It's simple. He does it every single day. He's not going for bulk. He's not going for he looks amazing.
He's going for longevity.
I don't want to glaze him.
He's trying to live forever. He's just don't die.
The optimal, for his body weight ratio, the optimal weight that he has to be. He eats multiple vitamins.
I do his supplement course.
But what's
awesome. You do his supplement course?
Yeah,
I can tell.
Does he sell supplements like Alex Jones sells his own supplements and stuff?
Yeah, I mean he just took everything that he was doing and just put it into a monthly supplement course.
But I'm saying you're not buying the branded his stuff. You're just you are buying that.
Yeah.
Okay. How much is that per month?
$300. Yeah.
Well,
I told you I like the whole longevity thing.
Health is the largest growing sector for.
Yeah. As it should be. When it comes to longevity, why do you think you're so not saying that I also I'm gonna live for as long as I can. Just putting it out there, that'd be
God willing,
willing, but living 10,000 years, dude. What a crazy
think about the things that you'd see.
Yeah, that's
think about if we're gonna be an interplanetary species, the amount of time it takes for you to travel to different universes, Mars, galaxies, whatever.
Yeah.
That's a full lifetime just traveling.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just think about all the things that we're going to do as a race that we're going to achieve from now to, 1,000 years from now, 100 years from now. I would like to see that.
Because right now, so in the 1900s, we had the Industrial Revolution. It took about 100 years. Now the same industrial revolution is going to take about 10 years.
It's every 10 years you have another one.
So it's just to think that we've reached the exponential point of change. Like we're at the beginning of it, or like almost like at the we must be at the start of it with AI and everything.
Yeah,
it's just every single year now we're going to be seeing something more revolutionary.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the rate that like Grok 4 just got released, and you saw like the advanced like ChatGPT. The first one was I think 2 years ago.
Yeah,
the difference between ChatGPT then was like a 5th grader or whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's like a PhD student.
Yeah.
And then like you play around with deep research and you're like, okay, this is like a 10-year analyst.
I was at your house when you talked about ChatGPT for the first time. And that blew my mind. From that to this point we're at right now, it's becoming a companion. Yeah. What is it going to be like when you have your Neuralink, when you can directly interact with AI? It's just, that's what I mean. Like the fact that you even have the concept of a brain interface and now it's in play. That's sci-fi. That would have been sci-fi.
It's sci-fi. I love sci-fi, and we're living through it,
dude.
now.
Like even driving around, like the first time when we were kids, we're like a self-driving car, right? Mm-hmm. Actually experiencing that after you get off work is so.
It's crazy.
It is crazy, dude. We've hit the point. Like it's awesome. So I mean, of course, there are like downsides, but I'm not optimistic. I guess I'm always gonna be idealist.
Yeah, but I'm optimistic too.
I think that that's why I would love to like live for like 10,000 years. Just the longevity, just to see how, like the story. I just want to see the story, and how it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, I tweeted constantly
and interact
like,
with it.
You think about it, genetically, passing on your genes. It has been the whole purpose of human life, basically.
Biology in general,
right?
Yeah,
and so you can distill it down to like the first principle of that is your body attempting not to die.
Yeah.
And so if the whole goal of life is essentially not to die, then this makes a lot of sense.
It does, but the fact that it's feasible now, like
it's not feasible, but we're moving in that direction. Like you see, like that's the whole point of medicine.
Yeah,
it's like,
but it's a lot more feasible now than it was in the times like ancient Chinese kings or queens, or like how everybody always sought out to be immortal.
Yeah,
and come on, they're gonna be the first ones to access this. So
I mean, you say that, but then everyone else thought that too. Yeah. So they have to make the advancement, and the curve for advancement is like this, where it's leveling out.
So
well, I mean, I would think that actually the curve for advancement is reaching the exponential point, because if you so Elon released Grok 4 a couple days ago, and he was talking about the fact that the Grok 4 is handling engineering problems that they didn't even realize that they had, and using methods that they didn't realize that they could use, and so when you start science is like building blocks that are constantly building on each other. So we can only really know what we've done previously, what we've disproven or proven. This now opens up a whole new line of thinking where maybe the vantage point that we've been viewing problems from may not be the most logical vantage point to view them from.
Yeah.
And if you have a brain essentially that can view it from 10 trillion different and I don't mean that to be like hyperbolic, literally 10 trillion 100%. Angles.
And it's self-iterating, so it quickly learns from its own mistakes. And the fact that it's advancing itself, it's getting to the point where it's just really like kind of hands off. I don't know much about AI, but I just know that the rate of advancement is, it's crazy.
It's exponential. And like the idea that it's exponential, literally means that. So it was every 6 months a new Grok was released. I think it was every 6 months to a year a new ChatGPT is released. Have y'all, we talked about it a little bit before, if you played with Google's VO4, which is Google's version of ChatGPT, and Grok is Gemini, the video creation, I'm sure a lot of y'all have been seeing it, the video creation is so much better than it was previously.
Yes.
So it's like just strictly from a prompt, me writing in text what I think I want this video to be, as much detail as I want, it's producing it. Not perfectly, but like as you play with it, you're like, hey, this is incredible, because from like a creative perspective, this opens up a lot. I just think that the things that we're going to see, we can't really imagine in this moment.
No, we 100%, because this isn't decades. This is months.
Yeah, this is months
that it's happening. Going back to the big beautiful bill, there was a section that said for 10 years no state in America could
regulate AI,
regulate it, and it was voted down obviously, because it's like in 10 years that's a whole lifetime of advancement that can happen.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if you're not, which I think there are pitfalls, because what you said about Google's VO3, it's bad actors are going to use this and just run with it.
Dude, the deep fakes is what I'm most worried about. Have y'all seen Mountainhead?
No, what is that?
Okay, so it's a HBO movie. It's Steve Carell. I keep talking about Steve Carell movies. It's Steve. He's the goat.
Yeah.
It's him and 3 other like not really well known actors, but they're all billionaires. One of them runs the equivalent of Twitter.
Yeah.
And they are going to Mountainhead, which is this like mountain house. One of them just built this mountain house, and they do a yearly trip where they all just get together and just like talk, hang out, bro time.
Bohemian Grove type.
Yeah, kind of. It turns into that, but to like not ruin the movie.
Yeah.
The one that owns Twitter released a new like AI video generation portion of the app, and it led to a bunch of bad actors dropping deep fakes of, like presidents of random, third world countries.
Yeah.
And just leads to unrest throughout the world.
Yeah.
Like presidents getting assassinated and things like that. And I really don't think that we're that far from, maybe not that scenario, but the scenario where deep fakes get so good that it's hard to tell them from real life.
No, exactly. Because we're so ingrained in social media. We're so live just by the moment now that you don't have time for verification. You kind of go off of
You don't, 100%.
Yeah.
No one fact checks anything.
Yeah.
Everything that you see is real. Like my mom, for example, she will be on Facebook, be scrolling through a video, be something ridiculous, and then she'll call me, send it to me, like, hey, do you think this is real? You know what I mean? You can't really tell if it's real or not if you don't spend the time to think about it. Do you remember the Key and Peele where he goes over, he has Obama over his face, and he does the speech?
Yeah,
that was like 6 years ago. Yeah. Now you imagine someone doing that now with actual malicious intent.
Yep. You
like older people are like, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And that's like, but it's like, of course, I'm happy that was taken out of the big beautiful bill. But how do you even begin to regulate it? How do you even begin to like put boundaries on there? You're basically saying it's advancing so quickly. The test that they have right now, they can't even make the test to even see what how advanced AI has already gotten.
Well, I think the other thing within the big beautiful bill is the race between countries for creating the best AI is probably the most important battle that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And so you have the big thing in March was DeepSeek out of China where we aren't.
That was our Sputnik moment when
I
read that was Sputnik everywhere, but it was just like they did they basically had equivalent of ChatGPT but with less resources.
Better with less resources.
Yeah. Which of course, it used all the information that we had and learned along the way. So they had a much better jumping off ground.
It's like same jumping off ground, but their method of training was more efficient than our method of training.
Which again, going back to evolution biology, it's of course, this is the emergence of this type of AI. I think is a natural process that probably a lot of species go through across the universe. That eventually you start to create mechanical forms of life.
Maybe it's a weird alien conversation.
But it's technology. One thing that humans are always going to be producing is better and better stuff. No matter what's going on in the economy, no matter what's happening across the world, we're always going to have a better car, a better mobile phone or whatever. It's just Joe Rogan's been known to say this all the time. We're just emerging out of we're creating a technological butterfly basically, and the AI is our creation to the universe.
I can feel that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when you have people like Elon Musk saying why Neuralink is so prominent now, it's if we're going to be competing with this type of creation, we need to be able to keep up with it too. So it's it's crazy to think, but I'm still optimistic about it, dude. It's technology is getting wild, and I love to see it.
I think this is a very over-leveraged thing for the U.S. because they've over-leveraged themselves on data centers, which they will not need because it will become more efficient. And from a perspective of let's say there's a DeepSeek 2.0, let's say there's one in 10 years. This is all a really big bubble if you think about it, because you're paying certain people hundreds of millions of dollars sign-on bonus to move to another company.
Yeah.
There's not going to be 6 companies. We're not going to use 6 tools the same way that we don't use 6 apps to do the same thing.
I don't know. So I think it's interesting because Zuck and Meta have paid 8 OpenAI AI engineers $100 million bonus to sign on and work for them. And Zuck's trying to take out $23 billion in loans so he can spend more money on AI development.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I think it's less that it's over leveraged. I think that it's a problem that, like, the money doesn't really matter because it doesn't matter because the end goal, whoever gets there first, wins the game.
Right,
but AGI is the end goal, right?
Some people say ASI now, artificial super intelligence. Yeah, AGI is artificial general intelligence, and like some people claim that we're there now, but like there's like multiple arguments. Like some people say ASI is when we can upload a human brain, and they can use like similar to what you're saying with Neuralink, when they have the same capabilities of computational power as what ChatGPT has. Yeah. But with a human, what does that look like? But
no, whatever it is, even like along the way to this route of AGI or ASI, we've seen a resurgence in nuclear power. That was such a taboo argument. Like we had 3 Mile Island here, but now like Sam Altman's bought the whole nuclear facility and they're reconstructing it with a new nuclear facility that AI like engineered. These are the parameters that most efficiently work, and we're seeing a resurgence in like alternate forms like energy, which I mean there are a lot of net positive. Most of the energy is going to go towards powering this AI, but you can see the infrastructure being laid out. Even here in Memphis, Elon's he's bringing a new power plant. I don't know if we would ever have a nuclear. Can you imagine a nuclear site in Memphis? But it's like they're looking 10 years in. Like whoever can create the infrastructure now is going to have to lead. Like we're not resorting to solar panels or like wind power or anything. Everyone's being super realistic now. And that's what I love. That like at the end of the day, when it comes to technology, you have to be very realistic. You can't be idealistic about it.
Yeah, I mean, so you can make the nuclear argument. Elon's really about solar, just because his argument is that, you know, we have the sun. If we can, it's the biggest thermonuclear reactor. Yeah. If we just harness its energy, then you don't necessarily have to go down the nuclear route, and it could very easily power everything. But I mean, there's a bunch of different arguments.
That's what the co-founder of Robinhood, the one that's not with the company anymore, that's not the co-CEO, that guy is working on one where he brings the energy from outer space back to by shooting infrared beams at power sources like solar panels.
And the problem with solar panels is that there's like a coefficient that there's like they've reached a max point of how much they can absorb.
You need better solar panels.
Yeah, basically
better
but
batteries.
Then you just have AI help you engineer like better solar panels, and it's like this like constant positive feedback loop of, you know, just better and better technology.
Well, like, the issue right now for the U.S. is we're so far behind on max electrical capacity as a nation behind China. Like I think we're like 3 to 6 times behind what China can currently produce, and Elon even called that out. So like, let's say you set up all these nuclear reactors. That's great. It's not going to be set up as fast as China's going at it because they have less deregulation, more collective mindset, and someone that's basically a quasi-dictator that says do it.
Yeah, when that's I guess,
and it's hard. It's incredibly hard to compete with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you get 4-year terms.
So that's my point. Is like all you need is one Chinese company to get there, and then guess what? All these tech companies in the U.S. become almost worthless, and they're going to have to get there.
But I'd see that's okay. If we're going to play this out, you can see the threat coming. And you can see the obsolescence of your own technology field or like whatever. That threat right there, I think we're doing our best to mitigate it as much as we can. I still think nuclear is the best route because right now they're using coal power plants. They're using solar, wind. Their green energy output is like almost higher than our max output, and they're in China right now. But with these reactors that are coming online, even though it's like a decade out or 5 years out, I still think this is a much better investment. For like short term, it's going to hurt, but long term, I think it's going to pay out much better dividends.
Yeah, and honestly, we just don't know.
We don't know,
but we have to compete.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree with you. Right. I hadn't thought about it from that vantage point.
But it's hard to get there because I just looked it up on Grok, and they're 3 times ahead of us for total gigawatts that they can produce per month.
And isn't the bread and butter of AI power? How much?
Yeah, I mean it's power, but then you also have to have the computer chips too, and like. I'll tell you what, I bet you it's a lot cheaper and a lot quicker to get semiconductors in China than it is to get them from NVIDIA from Taiwan.
Yeah. So, okay, the semiconductors that Taiwan produces are a scale of their own. There are we're trying to make semiconductors here in America right now, but the only thing is the chips or disks themselves. You have to iterate multiple times. What am I saying? Iterate so many times. Yeah. But it's like they have a very closely guarded secret in Taiwan. Yeah. Of what they've created, and it's going to take us maybe 5, 6, or like who knows how many years to even get close to what they produce. The quality that Taiwan
Nvidia's is caviar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's next to nothing the world can, like, that's so crazy.
But that's like John was saying, like 40 years ahead of time. They have people that are in the CIA saying they have touchscreen stuff in like the 80s and 90s and stuff. Imagine what the governments have that they're not telling you about. So it's not like China's going to come out and say, hey, here's what we just built. It's a supercomputer. They're not going to do that until they already have it and they know that we cannot do it. Because then if they say it, it's just you being like, hey, can you solve the other half of this math problem? Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And then, now you can see the importance of, like, I'm not supporting Palantir and how they're infringing on our rights, but you can see this is a super massive AI. And it's like,
super massive.
Super massive. But
it's like this is a big problem.
A big nasty problem.
Somebody get a broom. We need to sweep up this math.
But it's just like, you're right. Governments have no incentive to create a safe AI. They want the most powerful. They don't want it to get it. Like,
I mean, they do have an incentive to create a safe one, but but here's the problem with trying to create a bunch of like regulations around it: is you just slow the progress, and whoever gets there first wins.
Yeah, I got a real mind thing for you guys to think about is like people talk about like Skynet or like AI taking over and killing us. There's probably more of a possibility that everyone just will not wake up one day because it will leak natural gas everywhere and you'll die from carbon monoxide poisoning or like something overnight. That was something that someone brought up, especially with everyone having Wi-Fi appliances now and not having like dumb locks or like having smart locks, having smart cars.
Well, okay, so if AI wanted to take the human population out, I think what it's doing now, like we're hitting a population crisis or like what is it?
But why would it? We're servicing it like it's a
tree.
No.
But I'm saying we're being phased out. This would be the best way to phase us out. Like not everyone's gonna have kids. Not everyone even like wants to have a family like later on. This would like again the bread and circus. You're given enough stimuli to like just live to a certain
and that would be my argument because everyone's like, hey, the AI is going to kill us. I think it makes much more sense
to slowly fade you out.
It's not even fade you out. It's way easier to just entertain everybody than it would be to kill them. Like no one's really that much of a, like we were saying, the fact that people haven't revolted as things are unaffordable for them, like credit card debt is at the peak that it's at right now because people can't afford to pay it off. People can't afford their daily things. No one seems that mad about it. Like they're mad about it, they'll make videos about it, but still, life is good enough that people aren't mad enough to do anything about it.
Scream into the void.
Just scream into the void for likes. Yeah, for the likes. That's the thing.
Then back to the Epstein thing. It's like they've already nodded to the Venetian court, the Imperium, that like we know who the powerful people are and how like much of a grip they have on society.
I mean, I don't know. All I'll say about Epstein is like it's sketchy. I don't really know like the
my bad. It's like I've been like for this conversation, I've been looking at hours and hours. Like, but it's crazy to think when you look at geopolitics, the way the world operates. You have new technologies like this that are going to disrupt so many like sectors of life, and that of course like who is going to be ahead of it? You know, who's going to be like taking charge of it? Because at the end of the day, like. As humans, we're still animals, and like, who's the king dog? Who's like the alpha? Like, who will like alpha male? Yeah, I hate that I said that, but who's in charge of the who's wearing the crown? Basically, and that's the most human thing ever, and it's just I don't know. Again, longevity. Going back to that, I would love to see how this plays out.
I would love to see how this plays out,
and I'm optimistic about
That's exactly how I describe it. I'm optimistic about it too.
Yeah, because it's like.
Yeah,
it's
so
cool.
that
It is cool. It is very cool.
That was my Roman Empire.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Dang.
Okay.
What was it?
Albert Einstein's mind. We went from Gattaca all the way around the world. Yeah. Why don't you guys give your Roman Empire and we can probably wrap.
Okay. So mine's
pronounce it. Sound it out.
It literally has it.
Yeah,
sound it out. How can this be your Roman Empire? You can't.
Mechanism.
Antikythera mechanism. Okay,
so give it to John. Let him try and pronounce it.
Yeah, pronounce it. Antikythera.
Antikythera mechanism.
And Antikythera.
Stress on kith and mech.
Okay, so And
how can this be a Roman Empire if you can't pronounce it?
Okay, wait, Antikythera, whatever it was the first.
Chat, sound off.
So let me ask you all, when do you think the first computer ever came around? When do you think we ever built the first computer?
I don't know, 1562 with the aliens.
No, 1561.
If I had to guess, it'd be 150 BCE.
God, I hate you, dude.
You know, I'm reading off your notes.
Hey, you know the abacus?
No, let me tell you.
Is that what this is about? Is the Roman Empire the abacus?
No, it's not the abacus, dude. It doesn't say abacus. What if it did say abacus?
That was what you were trying to pronounce.
One more time, just so we're clear. What's it called?
Antikythera.
All right.
Mechanism. So the first ever analog computer that was ever built was 2,000 years ago, and it was found in 1901 in a Greek harbor. And basically, this revolution, like this, kind of like restructured our idea of ancient technology, because we never thought. So this computer, the way it worked, it could map celestial movements. It could map when the Olympics were coming around. It was a very fancy.
wait. It kept track of every 4 years.
Every 4 years, but also like celestial movements too. So that's like when it comes to like naval, like when you're like voyaging out to sea. You need a really good like understanding of where you're at, like what your coordinates are, what the timing is. So this was, for its time period, having basically a Rolex watch.
But what is this thing?
So it looks like a bunch of gears. It's like a bunch of brass gears that are together.
Did you read
this? No. If you look at it, it's been on Ancient Aliens. And it's been on Joe Rogan. Like they always tell him to pull it up for Graham Hancock and stuff. But basically, it's just a set of gears that looks like it's at the bottom of the ocean. And what Brijesh is saying is it can help you navigate based on the celestial map or predict stuff. Same way the Mayan calendar was like predicting eclipses and stuff like that. But the other thing that's interesting about it is like they had this technology, then it disappeared. Then this was the technology of how ships found out where they were during World War II because they didn't have computers and the internet.
Yeah.
So like they had this technology,
2,000 years ago.
Yeah, 2,000 years, 1,900 years ago.
And it's just, okay, this blows my mind too. When do you think the first steam engine was created?
I don't know.
1801.
No, it wasn't. So this was during the Library of Alexandria.
Okay.
Like scientists from all across the world would come and visit this place. And the circumference of the world was figured out during this period too. The steam engine, which was like a rudimentary, like it just had like a cylinder with pipes that bended so that the steam could go out and like power it. Okay. But they had like rudimentary like applied physics. And it's just crazy to think that if they had this type of understanding of the world, they figured out what the circumference of the earth was. They had multiple their understanding of the celestial like movements to how to like Roman engineering still survives to this day. They were really advanced for the time period, and it's just crazy to think if devastation or cataclysms didn't happen, how much further we would have been. Like imagine a Roman Empire that had gone through the Industrial Revolution. You know, like how far away were they? Like, of course, their government like self-destructed, the economy like collapsed, and they had to like disperse. But if they had like a way to like, I don't know, just
to last.
Yeah, the way to last. Yeah. How quickly would like technology develop? Which is also, I think, the time period that they're from. Dude, they were all genocidal and hateful. Do you really want them to have nukes? Maybe it was a good thing. But imagine a Roman Empire, like emperor with a nuke. Yeah. It's like, I guess everything happens for a reason. Who knows? But it's just crazy to think how.
You don't think we were at one point though?
Dude, we all were. Like,
see, that's a theory that's online, is that there was technology just like we have it today, and that AI developed, and then a solar flare knocked it all out, and that's why we all worship the sun, because we can't remember why we worship the sun, because it knocked out all the AI technology. Okay. Yeah, it's just all full circle.
Like 12,000 years, because going off of like our human biology, like the brain capacity that we have, like the capacity we have right now, we had it for about 50 to 60,000 years ago. So how is it only in the last 4,000 or 5,000 years that because if you really think about it, we've really just like at a snap of a finger gotten to this point right here.
Ramped it up.
Why? Like, how do you think, like, if we had the same capacity 60,000 years ago, what's to say like they couldn't also get to this point as well? Maybe it's like, it's just built into us to always increase our technological capacity, even if it isn't like knowingly. Maybe it's like some like subconscious biological drive that we have. Aliens, but it's like our world. We've been met with so many devastating, like there's the flood myth,
No, what's flood myth?
Noah's Ark.
Oh, yeah.
To
everyone has a
every
flood
single
myth.
culture has a Noah's
Gilgamesh.
Ark.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's like, what's to say there haven't been multiple cataclysms like that have like slowed our progress to the point where like every single time we get to like a height of our technology, we get hit by
Something happens.
Something happens. Like
God intervenes.
Yeah, dude, that would be hilarious. The intergalactic, like those aliens keep.
Just put the thumb on the ants.
They're getting a little too rowdy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my.
They're getting a little too rowdy.
That's your Roman Empire, John.
That's
You got a Roman Empire over there?
I did not prepare a Roman
All
Empire.
right. Well, it's up
Okay,
to you guys.
so,
what you want to do?
Let's do our 6 big beers then, I guess.
Okay.
All right. I mean, we can if we want.
Okay.
John, you got 6 big beers, or you want us to just go?
Yeah. I mean, I have 6 big beers. Technically, I don't love them. Here, let's see.
Or you know what? Or do you want to? We can end it off with. It's up to you. How do you want to?
You wanna? So I'll read off.
You're gonna go for it.
I'll read off one of them. So
All right. Why don't we all read off our one big joke?
Okay. So
Our 3 big jokes for 6 big beers.
Yeah, we'll see if this makes it in.
So,
you know, Robert Downey Jr. is now playing Doctor Doom in the new Avengers movie. So he's coming back to play a new character. But they released today that that Doctor Doom is playing off the fact that he looks like Tony Stark.
I like
to trick people apparently.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's beer number 6. You know, Robert gonna hit us with that smug ass Tony Stark walk, talking about I'm not Iron Man, I'm Doom. Yeah, and I'm not broke. I'm just financially avant-garde. Sit down, Stark.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a real stinker of a movie after Iron Man. He had Dr. Dolittle, which I've never seen nor care to see.
I've never seen it either, but he went on Rogan after that.
Yeah, and he was like really excited not to do Iron Man.
Yeah.
And now everyone's like, come on, bring us one more Iron
Yeah,
Man.
he comes out on the Iron Man, the announcement, and he's like,
Oh, yeah.
dude, you know that was the height of his life.
Then
All right.
here, you want to pick your?
Here, wait. You
Yeah.
want me to do another one?
You can.
I'll do another one. So,
hit him.
Beer number 5. Dr. Doom's supposed to be cold, calculated, ruthless. Robert Downey Jr. playing him like you just found out Wakanda don't take American Express.
I like it.
It's pretty good.
Pretty decent.
It's decent. I like it.
What's your best one?
Let me see. Marvel got Robert Downey Jr. playing Doom like we ain't just watch him die 5 years ago. That's not a villain arc. That's a midlife crisis with CGI.
That's pretty good.
I like that. Okay.
Who's yours on?
So mine's King Azuli. He's the internet's alpha male who's a registered sex offender. Whose whole life.
Okay.
Yeah.
That you're sure about that?
Alleged. No. Actually, he's gone to jail about this. And he's basically having a whole he changed convicted sex offender.
Not allegedly.
No, he's keep your kids away from him. Basically, he changed his name, fled to Israel. He's done like the whole shebang. Basically, you know how like after Andrew Tate, a lot of other like alpha males came out of nowhere. This one's like an actual like degenerate weirdo.
Okay.
And he deserves all the hate that he's getting. So here are my 3 big beers.
All right.
King Azuli. King Azuli's preaching about mindset and spirituality is like a raccoon giving TED Talks on hygiene. Bro, you're not enlightened. You just found Wi-Fi after parole. That's my beer number.
All right.
Beer number 3. Beer number 2. His whole persona is from 0 to hero, but forgot to mention the 0 was a cell block number.
That's pretty good.
That one is good.
Okay, beer number 1. King Azuli looks like if Andrew Tate got hit in the head with a shovel and then tried to start a cult in the vape shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe redo that one.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2.
King Azuli looks like if Andrew Tate got hit in the head with a shovel, then tried to start a cult in a vape shop.
All right.
Those are my 3 big beers.
Okay, I'll do my 3 big beers. These are about the whole Epstein situation with Pam Bondi and whatnot. So, beer number 6, why she needs a beer. She tried to seal the Epstein files tighter than Trump's tax returns. Now MAGA fans are polygraphing their loyalty to Kash Patel. Talk about a lie detector test. Self-fail.
Nice.
All right. All right. My next one is Trump had Truth Social his way into defending her into the MAGA backlash, saying, let Pam do her job because nothing says fantastic like hiding Epstein's little black book.
I like that one.
Okay. This is going to be the number one reason. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and everybody needs a beer this week. Pam Bondi is having a bad week. Trump urges everyone to forget about Epstein. Meanwhile, Patel's eyeing an exit quicker than a dealer at Jeffrey Epstein's parties on his island.
Okay, I like that. So that's been our 3 big beers.
3 big beers, 9 jokes,
9
the ultimate
good
number.
jokes. 9 really good jokes.
All right, I think if you stuck around this long, we could probably wrap it up.
We 100% can. Okay, guys. So we're running a subscriber contest, a little lottery. Once we hit our 1,000 subscriber, we're gonna pick between the 1,000 and see who's lucky enough to go on a dinner date with us at Bass Pro. If you're not from here, we'll do a Zoom video call with you while we eat Bass Pro Shop food, and we'll send you a rack of Rendezvous ribs, sponsored by Jimmy. And whoever the lucky contestant winner is, we're gonna do a little podcast with you if you're down to do it. But yeah, like and subscribe and help us grow.
No drinks at Bass Pro. Can't do drinks. No drinks.
You're going to get blackout.
No drinks.
So blackout, yeah. So where can they find us?
Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, TikToks, Apple Podcast, wherever you find podcast.
You can find us there.
Facebook, YouTube. Ring that bell.
Soon to be back on X.
Yeah, I just want to shout out. We've got over 1,000 followers now on Instagram. It's been a long road there.
Yeah,
we've got a little surprise for all our followers on there. You may be getting a special message from
every
us.
single person.
Every single person on Instagram.
We're gonna call. Yeah, but thank you guys for helping us grow. I can't believe we're already at 193 followers. We're subscribers
on YouTube.
On YouTube, we're blowing past our milestones. Please help us keep growing, and thank you all for checking in and tuning in. We love y'all. Have a great night.
Have a good one.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye. That was awesome.
That was tons of fun.